I could. We're in Humboldt, Saskatchewan on this wintry January day. Maybe cold outside, but the action's heating up inside as we head into day 4 of the Viterra Scotties. We've got Draw 8 coverage for you, and it's coming up next.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by Sask Tel, Viterra, White Ice at Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, CurlSask, Sask Tel Max TV, and Asham Curling Supplies.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Sean Joyce. I'm here with Kim Hudson at our broadcast location. Susan Lang still with us, but still struggling with laryngitis. We've tried a few cures, but if anybody at home has got some ideas on how you cure laryngitis, you can text them or email them to us during the game. Maybe we'll have Susan back tonight. And it certainly would be nice to have her tonight. We've got some exciting draws coming up, both draws today. The featured matchup that we're going to have this afternoon, we've got Sherry Anderson. We saw her pick up a big win to keep herself in the playoff hunt last night, playing against Ashley Howard. Chance to play spoiler here a little bit. Kim, what do you think that means we're in for as far as strategy from these two teams?
Well, I'm guessing a little bit here, but you know, when the team like Ashley Howard, when they know they're not in the playoff hunt, they're playing loose, they're having fun, they have nothing to lose, and it might affect their strategy a little bit as well. They can go for it. It just really doesn't matter, you know. So I'm hoping that we're going to see a good game with probably lots of rocks in play, I'm thinking.
Sherry Anderson might be getting a little bit tired of that. She played Jessica Mitchell's team last night. They were really out of the hunt, and they gave her quite the matchup because, again, as you said, they had nothing to lose. They went for it, and they had her under the gun for most of that game. Yeah.
From the outside looking in, you always think, oh, yeah, they're playing a, quote, weaker team just given their record, and it should be easy. But, you know, from a player's standpoint, it's anybody can beat anybody, and sometimes it's not a lot of fun playing those teams that are playing pretty loose and free.
And, of course, in round-robin play, there will be a full slate of games. We'll go through those matchups in a moment, but the two teams on our feature matchup just about set to get underway, so let's meet the teams in this afternoon's game.
Hi, I'm Ashley Howard, skip of Team Howard. Our third is Carly Howard, our second is Caitlin Corbin, our lead is Ashley Williamson, and Coach Russ Howard. We curl out of the Highland Curling Club in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Hi, I'm Sherry Anderson, skip of Team Anderson. At third is Nancy Martin, second is Megan Ferricks, lead is Allie Jenkins, and our coach is Cheryl Beckler, and we curl out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon.
And the games on the other sheets, just to let you know, we'll keep you up to date with the games as well as the standings. Here you see them. Amber Holland and Robin Silvernagel are on the outside sheets. Those two teams tied at 5-1. It's Silvernagel on sheet 1. She's playing Chantel Eberly. Eberly in the mix for a playoff spot as well. On sheet C, it's Penny Barker against Jessica Mitchell. The Barker team, we were talking to them last night, they come into this game with a record of 2-4, but still not mathematically limited. They need to win their 2 games today, and they're going to need a lot of help. And then Kristen Streifel, still well in that playoff mix at 4-2 against Amber Holland at 5-1. That's a big game for both of those teams.
Yeah, I think we can safely say mathematically the only 2 teams that are no longer in the playoff picture will be Howard and Mitchell.
Stand right up.
We do see the first rock coming into the rings. Anderson team just hitting.
10 little firm. Yep. Clean. Little firm. Clean. Yes, clean. Whoa. Whoa. Shot. Good, Allie.
makes the hit, rolls over a little. I'm a little surprised she called the sweep off. I would have thought they would have tried to roll that right to the corner. We've seen that a few times from teams. If they could get the play away from the corner on the first stone, they might throw the corner guard on the second one. It is the first end of play.
Yeah, I think both teams you'll see keeping it fairly open and getting their sea legs under them in the first end.
Shot. Alright, same thing.
We were trying to look at some of the combinations to give you some idea as we go into this draw.
Yep.
Who's got maybe the inside track on making the playoffs? Who needs to be? And it's just, as I said, that 2 and 4 team is still mathematically alive. And a lot of years, at this point in the draw, you'd look at that many teams ahead of them, and they wouldn't be. But because of who still has to play who, somebody's going to have to come back a little bit. Of course, for Penny Barker, she's got to win her 2 games first. But there's going to be a lot of scoreboard watching for us today.
Yeah, I've got everything written down in front of me, and I'm still struggling to keep up with it all the different combinations. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the year that Penny Barker won, I believe she finished the round robin at 4-4, did she not?
She did. She had to come through tiebreakers.
Yeah.
And of course, the long road, once you come through tiebreakers into that 3-4 game.
Right, and that's sometimes what happens, though. You start coming through the tiebreakers, you get on a roll, you keep playing, you start playing well, and you win a provincial championship.
14-5? 14-5, you're right there.
So hit and roll out. We see Sherry calling it into the house.
Megan, let's go here. Okay.
Oh, change of plans. Corner guard.
She asked about both first and opted for the shot in the rings, but now deciding to play the corner guard.
And you know, I have to admit I'm a little happy about this because I'm running out of things to talk to you about.
Well, I like the call, and for a couple of reasons. Sherry Anderson's team had second practice, and we've talked all week long about how much the draw weight changes. So they're the most recent team to get to throw on it. They should have a best handle on draw weight. If you've got a chance to get your 2 here in the first end,
I agree.
you can go back a few years, and it was Wayne Madaw that I first heard say it, and I'm not going to necessarily say Wayne's from Ontario, so we we don't want to give him too much credit, but he was one of the ones that used to say that you may as well go for it early in the game when you know what the ice is going to be like. We have heard them talking later in the game about spots that may be fudging just a little bit. There they get the nose hit on the corner guard, so the opportunity to use it here in the first end.
Yeah, I'll still give you a little more.
And Megan was the one that threw the corner guard there, so gets to repeat. Now gets to use it and come around.
And this is the other type of conversation we heard. This is now the 3rd rock down the path, so they were discussing what weight she had to throw, and she said she's still going to give them a bit more. They know it's going to be keener now than it was on the guard.
3. On the way. 2. What's the guard? 2. Get it past the sun. 17. I got it. I don't know what she do. Okay, that's all right. Our shirt. Play that. POS. Yeah, I think so.
Carly Howard, cousin to Ashley, and the import for this team. Looking for the peel here, and they were on the brush on this one right away. So move the yellow guard, but this may leave a corner on the other side as well.
Yeah, now we've got 2 corners, although that's certainly well out there.
Ashley Williamson, good job on the brush to get that as far over as she did.
What's that? 14. Maybe. 14-3? Should be a little better now, though. Yeah.
Nancy Martin asked to draw around the corner.
Wait. 3-4. Ben, go hard, Ben. Gotta go. Got room. 3. All the way, guys.
Standing. Sweepers certainly think it's a little short.
All the way. Right up.
Lots of room by the guard, but they've got to go just to get rings on this, and it's going to once again come up short.
Back keen, yeah. Good shot.
Now the ice has been very quick and keen all week here. They even numbers is 15.5 and higher. Not sure it's necessarily there yet. One thing we have noticed, and the competitors have mentioned to us, is it's a little bit heavier going this way in the odd ends, quicker coming home.
And of course, they probably didn't throw any draws towards the corner in the practice session, so that's fresh ice out there right now.
Yeah. A nice hit and roll into the rings.
She get hers going there?
Nice to see the Howard team, even though they're not in the hunt, still fired up to play here this afternoon.
Oh, I would think so.
10. Yep. Hard. Yeah, right up. Hard. Yeah, right up. Really hard, Allie. Hard up. Right up. Whoa. Right up. Right up. Right up. Right up. Okay.
Looking to roll into the rings. That one curls past the face and
Not in.
makes the hit. Does stay for another corner guard, but I don't know. Those two are so wide. We haven't seen so many enough draws out there to know how to get around that one.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen much play to the wings.
Theirs looked like it took a
And
while.
certainly
eh?
not
that's-
that wide.
Theirs
Yeah,
took a while.
whether that's because of the
why.
5 rock rule or just the way things have been going.
Are you just underthrowing them here?
I'm getting about a 17.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, I'll give you the draw then.
Yeah, I like that.
This is less ice. We
Okay.
should get more curl.
You got it.
So Ashley, our 2016 Scotties champion from Saskatchewan.
Playing with Jolene Campbell that year.
Mm-hmm.
Line's good.
Line's free.
Room. Lots of line.
Think
Roll right. T.
draw.
T.
Go behind the line.
Body. Moving pretty good.
Go through if you're behind the line.
Back 8, back 12. No, it's all there. They can't touch it. Back line.
Okay.
Draw weight's looking to be a little bit elusive.
Yeah, and they did have a discussion about what to throw, whether or not it was. This was two different throwers. Megan Frericks, Nancy Martin. Were they just light? Is it that keen over there? Or they guessed wrong.
Whatever it
However
was, I was sort of listening there. I think Nancy said that one through the rings was 14.6. Anyway, you will see a lot of discussion on paths and times and weights here this week. It's certainly a little bit touchy.
Yeah, probably more than normal. You always
Yeah.
hear that. What do I need to throw this? Okay, good. But there's a little bit more back and forth now because they have to think about the path. How many rocks have been down there lately?
Oh, I gave it some.
Okay,
No,
it's close.
no.
Okay, a little bit of room.
7,
7, 8.
Off.
Sherry feeling that she gave it a little
Slide
bit.
pretty good. 9. Whoa. Gotta stop.
Yeah.
9, 10.
9, 10.
That's true.
They don't like those weight calls that sound like an auction. Now, is this one going to come to rest at the back of the 12? It does.
Yeah, I like that. Just played it. Okay. Where were we there?
Right back here.
So just playing down to it. Try to get the force here.
It's one of those ones where you look at where it ended up
Well,
and
good news is we just
you
played
won't
it.
decide if it was a good shot or not until you see how this one's made.
I think just weld freeze right on it.
Okay. Okay.
It feels good here.
Yeah.
For Ashley Howard, she had tightened up the ice on her first one, seeing how much those rocks had come by the guard. To play the freeze on the one Sherry just threw, she's got to take wider ice again, so now she's on a different path than she threw on her first one.
Back 8. Sweep for back 8.
Line's great.
Yep. Hard line.
The Brushers had picked this one up early.
Seems to be curling too.
Hey, line's fine then.
You gotta get it out if you're bumping it.
Yep. Back line. Right to it. Yep. Keep the line.
Got to stay on the inside of it to be shot rock.
Go, go, go. Okay,
Comes
good.
down, nudges it just a little bit, but did she leave enough room to maybe move that through and get a deuce?
See a little bit of it.
Looks like probably worth trying.
What do you like?
Just another foot. Or you
I like
half?
playing a little more weight.
Okay.
How does that look with half? I
Sherry's
got most of that, don't I?
going to play it with hack weight.
It's about, you're just missing like that much.
I can throw a hack at that.
Yeah.
Sherry's saying she can see the majority of that.
A little less ice. Nancy. Little more. No. Whoa.
Normal speed here now.
I feel like what she meant to say was a smidge.
Smidge.
less.
I was thinking that too.
That's what threw Nancy off. She didn't say smidge, so she
Yeah.
moved it a lot more than that.
I've heard the word smidge a lot this week.
Heard it from the Anderson team, but not just them. There's been a few teams.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a unit of measurement in women's curling.
Yeah, Sherry had to correct a little bit there. You heard her say a bit of a bad slide, but can still get the job done.
Brushes are off and on. It's close.
Yeah.
It's going to make contact,
Okay, sure.
but not enough to hold the shooter, so it'll be a single point for Sherry Anderson here in the first end, and Ashley Howard will have last rock in end number 2.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
First end's completed in all the draws here in draw 8. So Kim has an update for us on the scores.
Sure do. On sheet A, Silvernagel rolls out to sit 2 and Eberly makes the hit for the blank. Tie that game up 0-0. This is our feature sheet, and we saw how Sherry Anderson got her 1 point. 1-0 Anderson over Howard. Over on sheet C, Barker versus Mitchell. Barker nosed her blank attempt, so the score is 1-0 Barker. And over on sheet D, Streifel versus Holland. Streifel makes the hit for the blank, and again, 0-0.
And here again in the second end of play, our feature game, play has come into the rings, but now Ashley Howard going to take advantage of the 5-rock free guard zone and throw the corner guard here.
Nice to see.
Close. 2. Good. 2-3. Gotta get off the center line. Pretty hot. 3. 3. 2. Just a 2. 2-3. It's really sliding.
Can't. Really tight 3.
And this is the spot that we see gets pretty quick, pretty fast. They're calling 2-3 on that, and I think it might have to even run the biter stick around it.
It looks like we're going to call for the measurement to see if that stone is biting. If it's in the rings, they can hit it.
I think they've agreed it's in the rings.
Sorry, I thought it was stopping. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was stopping.
So that means Megan Frericks can make a play on this stone. They'll look to hit and probably roll back into the rings towards center, but nothing out of the brushes yet. This might be a little thin.
Yep, go.
Rolls all the way into the 12 foot on the other side. Sherry Anderson sits 2.
Just hit it.
They were going to throw the corner.
She thought about it. And I wonder, even going back to the last corner guard attempt, if this might have something to do with what we talked about. This team playing a little bit loose, playing a little bit more aggressively because they know they're not in the hunt.
Yep.
It's not unusual. If first stone comes into the rings, you try to hit and roll to the corner. And if you get the play over there, you play the corner guard to the next one. They really didn't get the play off the center line. They got it out of the 4 foot, but not off the center line, and they still threw the corner guard. And she thought about it again there. There may be something to that, and that they decided, we're going to make you play.
Yep. Yep, I agree. I believe Ashley even said that to you before the game. This is a nice hit and roll, though.
Yeah, if you knew you could make the hit and roll that good, you wouldn't even have thought about the corner guard.
Exactly.
This is a tough shot now for
and
Megan
perfect,
Frericks.
I might add.
Hug, guys, quick, quick, all the way.
Makes the hit. Sherry Anderson ready at the tee line. And enough action on that stone. The skipper is able to sweep it out the back.
Really nice here.
And now with all the play away from the center line, no hesitation. Even Ashley had started to go out to signal for the corner guard before the first stone was out of play.
Yep.
3-4. It's really got to come down. High, I guess. Try. You just want to die.
Here we see
Okay.
something we've seen a lot this week.
Yeah, these are the struggles that we've seen from all the teams. This is the keener direction.
The 10's good, nuts.
Yeah, and then it'll keen up with every rock in that path as well.
Slight wobble from Nancy Martin on the delivery.
Okay.
Might have got just a little bit outside on it.
Yeah.
Does make the hit. Shooter will roll out of play.
Halfway, Carly.
Ashley
Asking
Howard will
Carly
look
for the
at
guard.
least one more corner guard before she makes the play on that stone in the rings.
Whoa. Line's fine. Let it curl. Whoa. Line's good. Line's fine. Oh, leave it high. Just a 2, Matt. Nice shot.
There's a nice corner guard.
Kill this.
Hurt up, Matt.
Sherry Anderson without last rock here in the second end wants no part of the corner guard game.
Right up.
Asking Nancy Martin to make the peel. And this one high enough she won't be able to roll into the ring, so they'll try to roll right out of play.
Nice
And
throw,
does.
nice shot.
And now for the Howard team with just 3 stones left. Pretty late in the end to try to get the deuce, so now they'll hit that open shot rock and try to run this through for a blank.
Exactly. Look at carrying things over. Blank end into the third.
Good shot. Good sweep, guys. Just a 10. Like, she threw it about there, I thought, so.
One other thing that I noticed when I was talking to the players before the game, Ashley Howard, of course, her father Russ here was the coach, and one thing she may have inherited from him a little bit, at least, is that she's sounding a little hoarse this afternoon. Not quite to Russ level, but...
well, you know, Ashley does get very animated out here as well, and she can call for the sweep as loud as her dad, I think.
Yeah. Well, there have been times out here in this building where you had to. The crowd has been...
It's clean. Yeah.
If the cowbells start, you better be louder.
Absolutely. Nice shot, fully in the rings.
Turn. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, hers is going to be nice there.
Those isn't awful.
Yeah, I like that.
Here's Nancy Martin looking for the roll on that. We've talked about it a bit. We're going to talk about it a bit more here. She's trying to get that roll to that 4-foot line. That's the tricky spot. And tricky enough that we've seen rocks on open hits. They get absolute clean misses.
Yeah. Even 2 in a row on that spot.
Yeah. Can be a little embarrassing for the curlers, but I mean, it's just that tricky of a spot. If you're back a little bit, it might float. If you get inside that 4-foot line as we look at it, that's where it curls.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're fine. You're right on nose.
Ooh, just hangs around.
Just hangs around, but that's actually a good spot for Ashley Howard. If Sherry hits this right on the nose, it won't be in the rings.
Yeah, makes for a pretty easy blank.
Yeah.
Roll it right to the middle if you can, guys.
Yeah. I like to wait last time.
Yeah, at least fully in.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
But I like to wait last time. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go wait.
Sherry Anderson with her final stone in the second end.
Ooh, Jesus, that's not very smooth. No.
You get the play-by-play right from the player as they're throwing. Nicely done.
And does bring it right to the middle, makes for the long roll for Ashley Howard to get out of play.
Where was it?
You do see the broom right on the edge of the 4-foot here.
That wasn't a very smooth delivery either. Sorry.
You told me. Okay, 8.5. Okay.
So looking for the blank.
Big weight here from Ashley Howard. Just needs a piece of this stone.
No.
It's back in. That clean didn't sound very emphatic. It sounded almost like a question. Catches it thin, but with the big weight, that's more than enough to get it out of play. We've got a blank end here in the second. Ashley Howard will keep last rock into the third.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel. The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel.
And once again, everybody playing at a brisk pace here in this draw 8. We've got more scores to update you on. Kim's got the details.
Sheet A, Silvernagle Eberly. Another straightforward simple end leads to the second blank end of the game for Eberly. Score remains 0-0. Moving on over to our feature sheet was the blank end. Over on sheet C, Barker versus Mitchell. Mitchell needs a cold draw to the piece of the 4-foot, and it slips a little deep, allowing a steal of 1 for Barker. Score now 2-0 for Barker. And over on sheet D, we have another blank end. Streifel did have a chance for 2 points. It was in play for most of the end, but a rollout by Streifel on her first made her forced to play another blank, which she made 0-0.
Susan Lang not able to talk so far this week, dealing with some laryngitis, but she's been keeping us up to date with all of those little write-ups so that we have some idea what's been going on the other sheets. If you were here at the start of the broadcast, you heard me suggest that if you had any cures for laryngitis, you might want to send them along. I've got one text here. It's from Mark Lang, and it just says, fix it with, let's see now, that's 5, 6, 7 question marks and 1 exclamation point.
Weight's good. Weight's good. Are you? Weight 2. Clean.
Well, I believe Mark's watching from the balmy south of Phoenix. I think it's a little warmer there than here. There we see the corner, and we see Sherry calling for the center guard.
Yeah.
2.5. In other words, kind of tight.
I will say, or perhaps I should say, and I haven't told this story yet, I haven't even told Susan. Of course, the two of them do spend a lot of time back and forth to Phoenix, and I ran into Mark about a week ago as the Northern men's subbing. He was playing, and so we were just chatting. He said, so you guys are going to be in Humboldt next week for the women's? I said, yep, yep. And he looks at me and he's serious. He says, is Susan coming? He hadn't seen her for a while. She'd been in Phoenix. She'd just gotten back. And of course, she got back and he was already in Saskatoon to play the Northerns.
Good. Good.
The line was good. I think they wanted it a little tighter, but
I think we can get that. I don't have any of that.
Pardon?
Yeah. Got 8.
it's totally buried, but
Just punch it in the open. Try to get it close
kind
to
of
the
on the
road.
long side.
Wrapping is good.
We are at the 6th rock here at the end. She could have made a play on it, but
Yeah.
a lot of times you figure those high guards aren't that dangerous. You'd hate to peel that one and have them put a better guard, and then you're stuck playing that game.
Yeah.
And you've always got the plan B. If you don't get by, you could rub it off. This looks like it's got really nice line coming
Yeah,
in.
it sure does.
Wow, that got to the face. She's going to tap
Got
it
to the
straight
face.
back.
Yeah, almost right through, and I think that's totally buried.
You knew she could get to the face with draw weight, but that was enough to go through. Almost killed that stone.
If you take that off, it's okay.
Alright, just half.
Looking at throwing maybe a little bit more weight. They're throwing hack here.
And this is something that, because of this spot on the ice, that 4-foot line, as we keep talking about it, they know this is going to run for a long time. Even with hack weight, she didn't take a lot of ice here.
Okay. Okay, go if you have to get rid of it.
I got this one, Shay.
Hard.
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Go,
All
go,
the way,
go,
Alex.
go, go,
Get
go,
rid of
go.
it.
Good sweep.
Shot.
Nice shot by Megan. Ashley now going to use her corner guard.
We're getting into draw 8. Shots that looked really difficult early in the week. Now suddenly these two teams making them look easy. They've seen these spots enough times.
Weight's close, a little high.
And I guess when you look at the scoreboards all the way across the draw this afternoon, you could say that's true of all of them. We've got tight games across all 4 sheets this afternoon. Oh, I want to say morning.
I know. I don't think we have a morning now.
No, you get a little spoiled with this draw too. You sleep in a little bit. It still feels like a morning game.
Yeah.
Good shot. Nice shot.
And there was a nice shot. Looks like you can probably see a bit of it. Not a whole lot.
Nice hack.
Throwing hack weight at this.
That's a lot. I think we need less.
You like that?
Yep.
Hard.
Go down.
Hard.
Go down.
Hard. Hard, guys, quick. Whoa, off. Oh, Jesus.
I think Sherry called it off to get a good piece of that guard and ended up coming by anyway.
Backside of it. I thought it was rubbing it before.
Yeah, Sherry thought they were going to rub it, so wanted to hit it hard.
Doesn't get the redstone out of the rings, but It appears to be third now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's an echo.
So looking at playing the hit and roll here, hoping to be sitting 1 and 3, hoping to be able to bring that third stone into play at some point.
Yep. 10 hard. Down. Hard. Forward.
Yeah, you can certainly hear Ashley's voice going a bit.
Croaking a little bit.
Okay.
Still sticks around.
Four.
I think Shot Rock is the yellow at the back of the rings.
10. Sorry.
But Red sitting second and third.
Okay.
Yeah. So looking for the hit and roll here.
Yep. 10. Yep. Right off, Allie. Yep. Really hard. Yep. Oh, yeah, really hard. Yep. Hard. Right up. Hard. Right up, Allie. Roller. Roller. Go, 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 go.
Makes the hit,
Really
trying
close.
to roll towards that guard. And gets just edge to edge. Choices here for Ashley Howard. She can play the hit and roll behind. That's what they've opted for. You could probably make the double and stay on the edge of the 12-foot too.
Yep. Oh. Oh. Oh, close. Off. Off. Good toss. Yep, yep. Okay.
I think she was going to audible for the plan B, but maybe a little too late.
Too late for that, yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, I like that.
And I don't think it'll move much.
Okay.
Here's that 4-foot line.
Yeah.
Not going to move a whole lot here.
11-2.
Yeah, this particular spot on this particular sheet, not that we've seen a lot of sheet B, we've spent a lot of our time on sheet C, but we have seen a lot of nose hits in this spot when we've been watching games on this sheet.
Megan's
Yeah.
just had back line and it didn't go crazy.
Yeah.
It's nice hack to bump.
Just bump. Clean. Clean. No. Clean. Yes. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Little down. Clean. Clean. Ellie. Yep. Megan. 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 Go. 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 Go.
Oh, almost.
they
Those
get-
are hard to call, that's for sure.
Inside that 4-foot line there, and it
You never
overcurled
know
on
when
it
it's
a little
actually
bit.
going to go.
Yeah, okay. Should be pretty straight. Okay. Do you think it's fresh here though? Yeah, I do. No one's thrown like under the guard here. Okay, so I'll give you a board. Yep. Yeah, and if it's hanging, we can always do that. Yeah, absolutely. Right here. Shade more. We're thinking board. Okay. Okay.
She can hit just come across the face, hit just off the nose. She can get the double and get a good piece of this shooter in behind cover. Doesn't need to be dead buried. If it's buried at all, Sherry Anderson will make a hit on the open stone and concede the deuce.
Yeah.
Make the double. Tuck a corner, put some pressure on.
Saying the weight might be a little bit up from board. Sounding like
This
they
is
need it though,
really
because this is
curling now.
curling.
Got to get it by the guard first. They're by the guard now. Can they hold it for the double? Oh, it's going to drive it by the stone at the back. Shooter rolls out into the open as well.
A bit more. Yeah, nose isn't terrible. I'll try like.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually.
It'll curl a bit here.
Yeah, it does still curl right at the end. Like,
Well, it's outside the 4-foot.
yeah, true.
And they are a little outside the 4-foot line, which is what the front end was saying. This should curl a little bit more than the last one.
Give her a double.
Yeah.
I'll give you just a smidge more weight, guys.
There we go.
A little closer to bump.
You've been waiting for that.
That's why they had trouble with that broom placement a couple of ends ago.
Queen. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
probably close to 10. Yeah. Oh, it's 11. Yes!
A little quiet, perhaps.
Yes! Wow! Yes! Yes!
Has to get up to the nose to get it by the one at the back. Now starting to curl. Can she get the roll in behind cover?
Must be close from the Yano.
Well, she's mostly behind. Now we did see a hack waiter, or just I guess it was just back line, got to the nose.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not quite there with board nose. Might be as a plan B. Over the
I think
top.
Carly
with
had
hack
the right
is pretty
idea.
close
You
to
go over
rolling
the top
out.
a little bit.
I think so.
Instead jamming it, you probably seal two.
More than what you see. Yeah,
Hack and play for nose and make sure you get her one.
okay.
You can try it if you want.
I think you can make the over the
Top with board
double
weight.
with board and hold
Yeah.
your shooter.
Yep.
Takes a while.
You can make
They
this too if you catch the break just right.
I gave Corbin
Yeah, they certainly want to make sure they get their 1 point, though.
Okay.
It'll curl. Gotta get by. Corbin, you think that's enough ice? I gave you a bunch here. You
Mine
threw
curled
nice
in there pretty
weight.
good.
I'm thinking hack. Think I need a bit more.
You got it.
Yeah, that was good board, eh?
Good board. Yeah.
So just hack.
So Ashley Howard trailing by one, facing two Anderson Stones. Looking for the double to count two of her own.
Right off.
Certainly farther out than we've seen. Haven't really seen a rock on that side of the
Well,
court.
still backing up on that line, starting to curl now. She's got to get close to the nose here.
Here comes the crossface call, I think. Oh. Didn't call that. Okay.
Don't know that she had the weight necessary to make
do
the
it
shot
anyway.
anyway, so she does pick up her single point. We're all tied up. Sherry Anderson will have last rock in the fourth.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel. The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel.
And number three completed on all of the sheets.
Yeah, over here on sheet A, you see the big 4 points. Silvernagel jams on a double, giving Eberly a chance to hit the third shot and score her big 4 points. So 4-0, Eberly over Silvernagel. Over on our sheet, we do see that Howard got her 1 point, so we're all tied up at 1. Moving over to sheet C, this game is still, there's a couple rocks left to come here on this sheet, so we'll have to get back to you on this one. Score is 2-0 right now, though. Barker over Mitchell.
I guess it's completed on sheet D, but awaiting the results of a measurement.
Yeah, I can't tell you what Sue said happened to this point. Terrific shots by both teams, kept changing who had the advantage. It came down to Streifel needing a draw to the 8-foot to counter 2 points, and it looks like she got her 2. So 2-0, Streifel over Holland. And here we've
got that shot for you.
Yeah.
Shot that came down to the measurement. She makes the draw to get her guaranteed one. It was the 2 stones around the outside that they measured. Turns out it is
Cindy
a score,
almost
too.
touched one by the looks of things there. So as if things weren't log jammed enough, we've got both of the teams at
5-1, trailing early.
I was just thinking that. Gonna get interesting. And here we sort of see the textbook setup. I'm not sure the order of which it happened, if Howard came around or which one they threw first, the center or the guard. Anderson team looking at coming around, but Rob's on the top one.
I should have called you out sooner. It's all right. Good shot. Nice, too.
So Howard looking at replacing the guard on center line.
Sherry Anderson saying she wished she would have called them off sooner. Of course, she got caught last and she called them off on stone thinking they were going to rub. As it turned out, it got by. So this time maybe a little gun shy to make that call too quick.
Yeah.
By not calling them off sooner, however, with that little rub they got, it's still protecting some of the forefoot and a good guard here. Things are going to be getting a little bit more plugged up in the middle than certainly Sherry Anderson would like with last rock.
That's right. Has a long way to go to get to center line, but when they start on the other side of the 4-foot line, they come across that 4-foot line just nice. It's just when they're riding in the 4-foot line that they seem to hang there. Guess there's a hole there.
If you take one, take this, eh?
Okay.
I think solid bump.
Bump. Should go through there nice. Okay, straight up there. Nice.
Just to let everyone know that Mitchell did make her shot for her 1 point. So over on that sheet, it is 2-1. Barker over Mitchell.
Yep. Hard. Straight up, hard.
This is not a big hole as they're trying to come through. Megan Frericks looking to make a play on shot stone.
Very close.
She
That was
makes
a
it
tight
look like
hole.
a big hole.
Good shot.
Guess we'll now see if they can come through it again, or the other team can come through too. We see there's a hole there, obviously. Not a big one.
Board up. Yep. Just board. Yep.
Caitlin Corbin trying to make that same port.
Right. Sideline.
By the front one, but not going to get by the second stone. Ashley Howard was ready there in case they could bring that into the rings off the back of the yellow, but it stays out.
Yeah.
Could go this way too, I guess.
Sherry looking at making the split now.
Well, you can
Try
go
to-
there, but I like that.
Playing the split on the one in the rings.
Stop back 8. Back 8. Back 12.
Back 8.
Okay.
Sherry Anderson with last rock here in the fourth. Doesn't want to guard a rock on center for sure, and there's hits and rolls both ways off that stone. It's her stone and it's shot rock, but she's not real happy with where it's sitting right now. So maybe the best way to deal with that is play the split on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Back 8. Hard line. Back 8. Back line. Okay, whoa.
Just through. Yep.
Whoa. Just separate it. We're
This is
nosing
over
it.
curling now, so they're
Separate
going to be more straight back than they would have
Separate 'em.
liked.
Good throw. That's all right.
I like the come around because of the double. Even if we jam it, getting underneath is
here?
okay too. Right.
Oh, here? Wow, that's...
You can see a chance for Carly Howard now to make the double straight back. Her shooter wouldn't be behind cover. She could opt for the hit and roll as well. That other stone behind the tee line not hurting them yet. This is going to have to curl regardless. Well, they try to sweep for the curl. I thought they might actually try to sweep from the other side, get it by, and hit the back
Get the
one,
back
hold
one.
the shooter. Gets one out of play.
Now you can come here, Nancy.
Straight come around the corner now. Whoa, rock's coming in from another sheet.
Ashley Howard with the save.
Yeah, stop it. It's nicer.
4-5 is all we need, guys. Whoa.
Whoa. 5.
Okay,
There's
come
the
on,
5.
yeah.
Big and only.
Ruben.
Gotta
Clean,
wait.
clean.
Gotta wait.
Higher than this.
Whoa. Oh, it's gonna be even.
No. Good shot.
Stops just in time to stay higher than that one on the back of the 4-foot.
Got any of it?
She wanted it higher just to make sure she didn't leave a double, but
Uh-huh.
if she's got a piece, there might still be a double. Can't be a big piece.
Yeah, I was thinking that to play the hit and roll.
Only see a little bit. Attack. Sure.
I think so.
Looking at playing hack on this to get the hit and roll on top of the one on center line.
Whoa. Hack. Hack.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Got to get by not just the long guard, but there's a tighter one and it rubbed. Well, credit to Ashley Howard. She was alert on that, saw after the rub it was still going to make contact with the second yellow, but unfortunately not enough weight left
The only
to
good
get that
thing,
one under the rings.
yeah, the only good thing for the Howard team is all these rocks are going to be behind the tee line. Might have an out of this, but Anderson team does have blast rock here.
Clean. Burn bomb.
Well, Ashley Howard will have the same shot they just tried. Of course, the unfortunate thing, when it's the higher guard you rubbed, it's not any easier because the tight one's still there.
Go, Megan. Really good.
Nancy Martin hits, rolls right onto the top of the other Yellowstone now. Might change the call.
So mine really hang here. Yours won't as much as
You
mine.
could nose hit that yellow that Nancy just rolled over with. You stay right in front of it. Becomes difficult to remove.
That's true.
Yeah.
A little scary looking at 3, but you could always make sure you sit on top of it by a freeze as well.
I'm not sure. Always ran. Touches they are heavy.
Yeah, I thought like a 10.
Machine?
Yep. 10 5. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard.
This one curling her early. By the guard, you need to hold the nose on this back stone. Makes the hit.
Almost, but not quite.
Holds enough that there's room to get it past the yellow.
Yeah. The only thing is you're going to leave a wall there.
Yeah, I guess we
So they
wanna
wanna
make
roll
sure we
big.
do. Like, as long as we get rid of it.
Yeah. All of it. You like that?
Hack? How does that look?
And we know inside the 4-foot, this one was nice.
Mark there, Nancy. How's that look with hack, guys? I don't want to sit, like I want to roll.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Ouch. Big. Half of it.
Soft meaning a little quiet release is what I think she was meaning by that. Might have been a little quiet in wave too.
Well, they picked the sweep up right away.
Yeah, nearby. That works out fairly well.
Rubs the other stone, but keeps it in play at the back of the 12-foot,
Yeah.
and Sherry Anderson 6-3.
Big under this way. So we just played.
Same way? Yeah, I think so. Exact same.
Looking at making the double and the roll behind.
Yeah. And as you heard Ashley say, it's the same shot she just played, really.
Mhm.
She can actually hit it almost the same.
Yeah.
Pretty, got across it, eh? It's easier from down there. Okay, you got next to rinse there, Corbin. You got to cross it a fair bit, so pretty much same throw. Okay. You got it.
Ashley Howard in some trouble here in the fourth end. Tied up without last rock. Facing 3 Anderson counters. Looking to make a double and maybe roll behind cover as well. This is going to have to cross
Sounding
the center
close.
line, though.
Just
Takes
like
the
that.
hit, gets the double, gets the roll. Great shot from Ashley Howard.
That was good to say. So I think if I throw it nicer, that's saying,
Nice call, Carly. Good shot.
There's always going to be a chance here for Sherry Anderson to get 2, but she's made this as hard as it can be.
Yeah, it looks like she can maybe see a bit of it, and we certainly know it curls here, so.
just throw it more positive.
Sherry just said they're throwing the same thing. She's just going to throw it a little more positively. 'Cause she did have a bit of a soft release last time.
So back line.
Yeah, I like that. You like this, Cher?
Yeah, I'll just throw it. That was dead,
Okay.
right?
Right up, Cher. Whoa! Whoa!
Certainly a different release on that one than on the first one.
Close, stay close.
Maybe, if anything, just a little bit of a pop on that one.
Yeah.
We've got to wait for it to curl.
Yeah. It does move here, though.
Gotta go, Allie.
But at the
Like it's
offside
trying.
sweep, trying to get some extra curl. She'll make contact with the red, pushes it far enough to get one, but her shooter is going to roll out of play. Just a single point for Sherry Anderson. Ashley Howard will have last rock in the fifth.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
Last rock about to come on sheet A. Robin Silvernagel coming into this game with a record of 5-1 and trailing by 4 early.
Yeah,
Maybe a chance for a double for 2 here.
Eberle's had Silvernagel in trouble all end.
They were on the sweep early. Thick contact on the first one and just over the top of the second, so it'll be a steal of 1 for Chantel Eberle. Chantel trying to keep herself in the mix for the playoffs.
Yeah, makes that score 5-0 now. Eberle over Silvernagel. And we saw the 1 point on our sheet. Moving over to sheet C, we have a few couple stones left to come here on this, so we'll have to get back to you on
This
that.
is actually Penny Barker's final stone here. Chance to draw for 2.
Okay. And we're going to watch it.
Oh, if we could get these games to stay at this pace where we could show all their last rocks when we
Yeah.
come back from the commercial, that'd be great.
Sure would. Makes us look brilliant.
Sweepers have backed away from this one. She just needs bite of the forefoot, but this is really sliding. It's going to go by her own. It does. Now, where will it stop? Not in time. It's going to be a score of 1 for Penny Barker. She'll take a 3-1 lead there. Jessica Mitchell, that team, the young team, playing their final round-robin game.
Yeah, over onto sheet D. On her last rock, Streifel let Holland off the hook by going through the rings on a draw to sit 2, and Holland took advantage, simply made the blank. Back to our sheet.
Well, and how quickly things can change in that fourth end. Ashley Howard
Yep.
facing 3. She makes a great double with her final stone, gets the roll behind cover, and Sherry Anderson ends up with only a single.
That's right. She did. It was a long enough guard. Sherry did have a chance to get 2 points there, but a bit of a different release, and yeah, quite a big turnaround. 1 point only. Little heavy here. Bounces off.
Just let's go bump.
The Anderson team looking at rolling to the outside.
Bump. Clean. Yep.
Close, close, close.
Yep. Hard for the roll. Okay.
Hard,
Whoa.
The snow is here.
My fault. It's okay.
Not really where she wanted to be, I don't think.
That definitely leaves a chance for the double, not that they have to play it right away. We're on to the 6th stone. Ashley Howard doesn't like that center guard. She's going to try to play it onto the one that was just delivered. Roll away from that center area. Don't know what, they didn't see the indication whether they're going to try to save the shooter for a second corner guard or not. They could. They've got one over on that side. A tighter one over there would certainly give them something to work with.
Good. Nice shot.
Removes the center guard and does roll over for a second corner. Sherry Anderson definitely going to want to keep the play away from that side.
Asking Megan to throw the center guard.
Little 3.
Hold the line. Gotta go
3.
line.
Line's good.
Line's good. Clean. Yep. Gotta go wait.
I don't want it too far out though, guys. You gotta be close.
Yeah, they certainly don't want a longer guard here.
Whoa. Okay. She just throwing those light? Or do you think it's that rock? Her rocks.
They've had a few of Megan's come up a little bit shorter than what they were calling for, so just wondering if it's the rock or if Megan's just throwing a little bit late.
She did get pretty good line on that stone. You can see from
Yeah.
that camera angle it's dead buried, but with it being that little bit higher, you've seen already in this game, there's room to come around those and move that stone, if not out of play, at least to the back of the house, and she could end up rolling behind her corner guards at the same time.
Yeah.
Hands back line. Hands. Okay. Just hands. Whoa. Just
It's inside that 4-foot line, so we know it's going to curl at some point. There it goes. Still got room by the guard.
Whoa, just nose it now. Just nose. Get it through the 4-foot. Yep.
Odd enough to move it to get shot rock.
Did they?
No, not. I don't think they did. I think yellow's shot.
Okay. But yellow's out in the open,
Freeze on it.
and it's tough to pass that red stone by the yellow as well. You can't see all of the red one.
Yeah, I agree.
Get to nose if you can.
So just playing the freeze here. Nice shot.
That may have moved the Redstone enough to be shot rock, but it's Sherry Anderson sitting second, third, and fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Nose, yeah. Just, they hit that, we're in trouble. Won't they leave a double? Probably. I don't know, what else? We could freeze on
That's
top.
bad.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I meant this one, but. Does freezing to this one help or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think either hitting that back one.
Carly's wondering about freezing to the
Don't
top one, but it really wouldn't change
Don't
the
know.
yellow-red angle at all.
Yeah.
10-5?
Ashley had thought about freezing
Yeah.
to the back one, and I don't mind that call, but how do you get there?
Yeah, I like the freeze as well, but I don't know
Yeah,
exactly that.
yeah,
How do you make that?
You really, how do you
Yeah.
play that shot? They know the ice to make this hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close. Yeah.
Oh, this has got to the inside of that 4-foot line, really curling now. They're going to have to work just to hold the shooter. Now they made a decision to try to actually roll behind.
Guess you can see about half of that. Did change the position though. So, oh, looks like they're going to have a little chat about it. Nancy's thinking something a little bit different.
Just wondering if I
And
can
I was
get 'em
actually
both
surprised
there.
that Ashley didn't do this. The building is loud, so when you start trying to yell back and forth across down the length of the sheet, it's hard to hear.
It's not
Oh, okay.
pushing,
Okay.
so you're gonna miss that. I mean, if you get to there,
Yeah.
right? But you gotta just play hack because it doesn't go crazy.
There you go. I think Nancy thought those were touching, and if
Yeah.
she hit the top yellow, there'd be a little bit of drag and she could get a double. But
We're still in
when
pretty
you
good
come down
place
and take a
there.
look, you see that's not happening. So,
Yeah.
so playing the back one.
Yeah, just rolling Megan's way there. Yeah.
How does that look? How does that look?
Is it straight here?
Well, right here it should be.
Okay.
4-foot line.
Does that look okay?
Yep.
So Nancy Martin with her final stone here in the fifth end.
Bump!
No. No.
Nothing out of the brush, as you
Not
can see.
sounding
that
good.
stone's still running right along that 4-foot line. Trying to get some extra curl now. They'd like to hold the shooter.
Okay. That's all right.
Makes the hit, but the shooter rolls all the way out of play. It is Ashley Howard sitting shot rock.
Looking to get a little separation from that.
T-line back 4.
So what they're looking for here, just bump the yellow onto the red. The red will come straight back, and if they're just a little off the face on the yellow, the red-yellow angle at the front should go by the red
That's
that
right.
they're tapping up here.
Yeah. Back. Yep.
It's a delicate little shot, but if she can make it well, she sets up a possibility of 3 here.
Yep.
Whoa. Got lots.
Back 8.
That gate might be a little farther than they wanted to tap this.
Roll it in.
Hard.
I don't think they wanted to come off that.
And I think that was the call at the end, try to roll farther away. They didn't want to leave a double, and
Yeah, which they certainly did.
they have.
I like this turn though. Well,
I don't mind it.
I guess
You've seen a couple there.
it's pretty straight. This turn I could probably take where I want, eh?
Whichever you like, sure. I think.
Yeah, I got enough room. I was. How does that look like 9?
You heard the explanation there. Kind of looks like the natural turn to throw would be coming across face with the out turn, but
Just because,
Because
of that
it runs so
guard, as you
straight.
see right there. That's
Yeah,
in
it's
your
just
line
a
of
visual.
sight when you're trying to hit it off the nose on that side.
yeah, like that.
Quarters of a rock.
But when you know it runs that straight,
Yeah, a little bit high.
Just straight up here.
I think Nancy had a bad thought there.
They seem awfully sure. I'm not as sure because they're far enough inside the 4-foot line. This This might be right at the edge of where it will curl.
We certainly know that.
They were on the sweep right out of her hand. Not able to hold the line to get the double. Hits and stays right there. Still a dangerous rock for the Howard team.
Oh, very usable for the Anderson team, that's for sure.
She still doesn't help, actually.
Sherry's got 2 options, or quite a few options here yet. So.
It chokes this one. I don't know, and then she probably plays that.
It's tough, though.
Just play the paper double.
Sherry's got short runs on both sides, basically.
That's what I meant by the options, yeah.
You go back here. You draw there.
I don't know how you take both of them away.
Raise,
It's hard to take
well,
either
only
one
if
of
you
them
had
away,
2
to
shots.
be honest. Yeah. It's hard the way things sit right now to even take one of them away.
We're just trying to open up 2 draw paths.
If you ever, like, but you're not going to get shot, though.
I can't play this double, eh? It's not there.
You could. You could definitely play that with board to get over here. For sure, it'll go
Because
that
then
far.
maybe I
Then
have a
shot
raise, I
rock's
don't know,
available
or I
Don't
choke
mind it, or
correctly.
even
Not
then.
sure what that does for
Yeah.
you, yeah.
Well,
Right?
Yeah.
Then what does she do?
Then at least I've got 2 ways to
She's
forfeit
going to
right
bring it
now.
off for sure. But you'll probably leave you that, if you leave the red right here, probably could leave you something on that.
Yeah, so either big so I can tap it,
Yeah.
or just little so I'm guarding this one.
Okay.
And hope she doesn't
You know,
make that.
Yeah.
you could look at just drawing to the side of the
Yes,
forefoot
big.
now.
Leave
It's
this
not
open.
easy on this ice.
Yeah, big leaves are wide open.
Yeah.
So I think here's better.
Okay.
I think that's probably as good as anything.
Yeah, it should curl for me.
As you said, it's not easy, but sit your 2 now, as long as you don't leave a double.
Then she makes this little.
Tap,
I
tap.
think there would be one. Even if she makes the tap tap, you should be shot rock, and
Mm-hmm.
Two
I think
shots,
she'd
we
have
can
to
roll
open up
big,
a path for you to draw in
and something
again.
to tap next time, or just roll inside.
You've heard Ashley's explanation. They're looking for
should
just
curl
the
for
hit
me.
and roll to center line here.
Forward and just roll to bite the center.
Whoa.
Close.
Sure can't afford to hit this on the outside.
No, and that's, I'm hearing some panics. Not really the plan,
Well, and
especially since it puts that.
to be fair to Ashley Howard, you say it sounds like panic, but I think it's at the point where that's the only way she can do it, that they can hear her at this point in
Oh,
time.
her
When she
voice,
tries
yeah.
to scream in her normal voice, it cracks and disappears.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's pretty much dead under.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's to me. It's either draw there. I mean, even if I come up short, right?
Yeah.
I can't set up a triple if I come even there.
Yeah.
She's got to tap
Then she has an angle, but that's tough too. But if you just corner behind that one. Yeah, or you don't want to get her backing.
yeah, I mean, she has backing now, but I don't need to hit it, because if I ever kiss that,
for the tap.
So what's the goal here? Right here?
that's perfect. Well, even right there. So she can't nose it. Force her to that tap.
Gotta be.
Even if I come up short, right? She has nothing,
Yeah, it's 14-7 here. Okay.
right? The
Sherry
air is
Anderson
short.
sitting 2 as she goes to
got it.
throw here. You heard the discussion. Ashley Howard's got 2 ways in
Guys,
right
we're
now. She's got the
1-2.
straight draw and the
I
tap.
don't
The
need to
tap
hit
is
that. If
very
I
difficult.
Even come up short, even just past ours, so she can't nose it.
Yeah.
She'll have to play the tap to even get a shot, like get a point. So
And you can see from this camera angle here with the position of those 2 guards, both the center one and the corner one.
so it's pretty nice here yet, eh?
A tap on the nose of that red
28,
stone at the top 12 foot.
15
It's
for
going to
top
be
8.
very difficult to hold that line. By the time you're by the guard, you're in danger of over curling, regardless of which side you come at it from.
I gave it some.
The line's good.
Just 8 foot. 8
5.
foot. No
Yes.
more.
Yes.
5. I don't need
6.
Round.
6. Yes. 6. Yes. Yes. 5. Yes.
5.
Okay. Right to it. Right to it. Right to it. Right to it.
It's all to it.
So Sherry Anderson comes down. It is a little short of what she needed for third, but does take away
Is
the
it dead
draw
jamming?
path on that
Or maybe
side.
drags the hair.
Does it leave the triple or perhaps
Either
even the
dead
quad
jamming
for
or-
4 or 3, pardon me.
Timeout.
Yeah.
They're going to call timeout and have Coach Russ Howard come down, take a look at it.
This is there for sure. It's just whether or not that drags and pulls it back. Because right now it's right on it.
Right. Like, where are you thinking? Like here?
I was thinking nose. Oh no, hair less.
Because I was thinking move this one.
I wouldn't worry about that one right now.
To me, it looks like it's going a shade over the top, so if it drags a bit.
Yeah, right now it's going over top. So maybe you do want to hit the nose
A
a
hair
bit.
on this side.
I was thinking nose, hit his thinner, get it over top.
Right.
Get it that way. Like
Russ
right now
Howard
it's
with the
going
long walk to get down to the far
right
end.
onto it, not like dead onto it.
It's hard to
Right now,
tell
the
from
way
our
it's
vantage
hitting, I
point what
actually
the
think it's
angles
gonna
are
go-
like.
It's making it,
She's lining it up.
which means
Boy,
nose.
we know she can throw it hard enough if it's there. And it would be for 3 points. This could be a huge swing right here.
Right. It looks like it's going a shade over the top.
Yeah.
So do we hit it this side and hope, or nose?
No.
Because they're so far this way.
Do you think nose will drag it enough to catch the top of it?
Russ can't actually get on the sheet, so he's got to walk way over to the side to see where this looks like it's angled to.
It's really close. Like hitting it this way, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
How much is it missing it by?
30 seconds.
This much.
Right now it looks
It's gonna
like
make
if
its
it
way
drags
down
it
the
all, it'll
walkway.
I
It's-
think it's here right now.
Yeah, that's what I see.
It's all about the angle on this shot.
Here.
That's a long way.
So
So you need to hit it more this side?
I just don't think it's there.
Oh.
I don't think it's there.
Russ doesn't think it's there. He thinks it would be to drag
is it
too
worth
far.
trying
If
it?
this was over farther, it would drag. You're not gonna-
Is it worth trying it?
If you think it's there, you got that tap.
I think it's there.
You what? If it drags at all, it's definitely there.
I think it's there. That's real thin, but
I don't know. It looks like from this angle, it looks really close.
yeah, I agree. I agree. We make this double to steal one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gotta. It does have to drag. I see it coming over here.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's a valid
I'm
consideration
thinking
for
if you
make
Ashley.
the
She
double.
just makes the
thinking
double.
hit
It's
it
only a
there.
steal one. The tap is not a
Big
gimme,
five.
and you're facing 2 right now. I don't disagree with this
Yeah.
call,
I don't want to give you too much.
especially if they think there's a chance
Yeah,
it's
but I'm
there.
gonna
This could
slide
be
way
for
tight.
at least 2. And if she's looking
Show
to
me
hit this
where you
off the
wanna hit
nose,
it.
she only needs to nudge that stone on the outside right as we look
Yeah,
at it.
hair.
Maybe 3
Okay.
or 4 inches. This would be for 3. We're just not in a position where we can
Oh,
really
nobody
see
looked
those
at it from the
angles.
hack.
You've got to you've got to defer to them.
You got it.
And it's all a question of, you hear us talk about the drag effect from time to time, and that's what this is all about. This stone, if you just drew a line through them, it would go over the top, but because of how you're hitting it, it's going to drag a little bit. Called the brush on right away, wants to hit nose at least, maybe just a hair on the outside, might have been a bit inside. Makes the hit, but it doesn't drag enough to catch that stone, so it will be a steal of 1 for Sherry Anderson, and she will take a 3-1 lead into the 5th end break.
One yellow.
Boy, a great try from Ashley Howard, and Coach Russ was right, it wasn't there, but still holds them to a steal of 1. The tap that she had was going to be very difficult. If she doesn't make it, it's probably a steal of 2. So I'm sure she's okay with making the attempt and staying within 2 points. Kim Hudson has made her way down to ice level, and we're going to see if we can catch a word with Sherry Anderson, who we know is always entertaining in these interviews. Kim, take it away.
Hey, Sherry, looked like the triple was almost there, but not quite.
No, I thought it would push it across the top there, which it did, and I don't know if there was a place she could hit it really and not angle it across, like go above it.
Yeah.
Hoping anyway, but you never know until it's been hit. So
Yeah, exactly. Always interesting coming into the last day when you're in the hunt and you're playing a team that's not. How do you feel about that?
for sure. Well, you got to be on your toes because they're out of it and they're just playing and they want something. They want to prove that they should be here, and so yeah, you got to play well. We got a break there with their first shot, but I mean, if I go a foot further where I wanted to, she would have had to play the tap against 3, and you never know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by SaskTel, Viterra, White Ice at Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, CurlSask, SaskTel Max TV, and Asham Curling Supplies.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Totally my first time. I'm very excited. Don't worry, we have a great time. We're gonna practice and then we're gonna actually play a game. Really? Yeah. Awesome.
Not better. Yeah. Could be better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel. The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel.
'Cause you're here in my house. You're here in my house. Come on in. Bring your friend. Yeah, make yourself at home. Here in my house.
And we hope you have enjoyed that The theme song that we picked up debuted on Wednesday night here in my house. Debuted during Curling Day in Saskatchewan, and unsubstantiated rumor has it that it was Brian Wempe and Kevin Kaltoff performing that.
I love that song. All right, over on sheet A, you saw a big 3 points by Silvernagel before the break. They were sitting one already, trying for their 3 points. She was a little light on she has a lightweight tap back through a port on Eberle's second shot at the back of the 12. She barely taps it, but after the measure, it was enough to score 3. Make that score 5-3, Eberle over Silvernagel.
We might have to move over a little faster than the camera, having a few technical issues. There we go.
Okay, over on sheet D, Streifel versus Holland. For her last shot, Holland looks at 2 Streifel rocks. She needs to go out wide to draw for a piece of the 4-foot, and Amber makes no mistake, puts it right on the 4 to count the single. 2-1 Streifel. And this is back to our feature sheet.
First stone here was brought to the top of the 8-foot and the corner guard.
So, and you see they're calling for a center guard here. I was down on ice surface. I couldn't really see the lines. Was the triple lined up there?
Well, they looked at it long and hard, and I think she hit it as close to where she wanted to as possible. It did, and by the amount that it went over the top of the back one, I guess it wasn't there, but it certainly was close. And yes, Kim, you'd already made your way to ice level. One of the things that Ashley had discussed, which I thought was a good point, is as long as she makes the double, it's no more than a steal of 1. And really, that tap that she had wasn't easy from either turn, and she was facing 2. So if you think there's a chance that triple goes,
might as well
I don't
play
mind
it.
giving a shot.
It was just an interesting comment as I was standing back there, and it all unfolded, and Ashley came back. She said, "Darn, I hate when he's right." So I just assumed that Russ said it wasn't
Russ
there.
Didn't think it would drag enough. That's right.
My ball, you're doing good.
So now 2 up. Anderson not leaving anything around. Plus it's set up pretty good. Out front.
10. Whoa. Clean.
That last stone rubbing off. It's its second shot at the back of the 8-foot. Megan Frericks looking to get rid of it.
Good. Really nice. Good throw.
Makes the hit, rolls just a little to the outside. Now we're at the 6th stone of the end, so Ashley Howard will look to make a play on the guard, and you saw the indication she'd like to get another corner guard on the other side out of the roll on this. Not sure if she might be able to make the double on the stone at the top of the 4-foot and get the roll over for a corner guard here. Caitlin Corbin throwing the second stones for the Howard team. They were on this one right out of her hand.
Nice roll to the corner, though.
Perfect. Good. Fine words.
It's a great roll because she's actually got that stone in front of the yellow that's well behind the tee line. So now if you can come around and make the freeze, you'll be guarded as well.
That's right.
Speed's good here. Yeah. 15-5. So.
And that's exactly why you heard Ashley Howard, even as that stone's rolling over, still imploring the sweepers to keep sweeping on that roll. They wanted that lined up.
Yeah.
6, 6, 7. We're to it.
Looking for another guard here. This is going to be into the rings.
Yeah, quite deep.
It? No. Let him. We're back 4.
Okay.
Comes down and nudges off that shot stone.
Sit roll. Okay.
Caitlin Corbin, a chance to make that same hit and roll a little bit farther in now, and if she can roll over behind the one she threw on her first one, she'll be buried and have another rock protecting it from the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it over. Okay.
But that one being a little bit farther in, it's got that little bit more distance to travel and curl, and gets too close to the nose, stays right there.
What do you want?
Easy 10.
Okay.
Nancy Martin now looking to make a hit on this stone. It's hard to tell from our angle, but if she was to hit this right on the nose, I think there might be a chance for them to play the double and the rolling behind that corner. It'll be high enough now. This is on the outside yet.
Okay, it's all right.
Well, that changes things.
It does. Gives Ashley Howard the chance she was looking for to use that corner guard.
Yeah.
Okay. Lock it right on. Yeah. Move on. Where is that one?
The Anderson team was hoping to keep those two rocks together in that 4-foot area and force Ashley to keep playing in that area so that she wouldn't get a chance to come over here. It's Carly Howard now with the in-turn draw. She looking for the freeze all the way here or just to come around? I didn't see the call.
I didn't see the call either, but
She's got a lot of room anyway.
got a long way to go.
Just
Get behind the corner.
hard. Go, 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 go. Just leave it, I guess. Good shot. Yeah.
It's just to the corner of it.
Do you like the run?
Sherry Anderson trying to get an idea how much she can see. I don't think she likes the run.
Yeah. Let me think about that. Nope.
What are we doing with this? You take that off, it's okay. How much space between them? Come and have a look.
That's, I thought that was pretty generous gesture. I don't think there's that much room.
Yeah.
Now, is that one of those ones when the skip's trying to talk you into playing a particular shot? She tells you there's
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
There's lots of room.
Yeah, trust me.
I don't quite have, I have like this much.
Oh, you have that much. Okay, well, do you want to play it quieter? Even just hack. Move it to there. You don't have to get rid of it. And if you rub this,
Okay.
just hack.
Whatever you like.
You like that?
Yeah.
So throwing hack at this.
Tack.
Sherry Anderson, as much as anything here, would like to get the play out from behind that corner guard. So even if you just nose it and roll it into the open.
Hack. Hard. It's nice. Hard. Hard, guys. Help her out.
Picked up the brush right out of her hand.
Okay, whoa. Whoa. Okay.
Gets the rub on the guard, and the shooter will go through the back, but that's enough to move the guard out of the way.
Gives Ashley the nice chance to go around the corner now on the other side.
Same weight, a little less. Same weight, same weight.
Well, we've talked about these situations before. This is how you set up your three.
I was gonna lead you into that and saying, what does this set her up for? But yeah, it
you
does.
make a good draw
Absolutely.
here. Sherry
Yep.
Anderson pretty much has to play the open stone.
Theoretically, that's what happens. Yeah.
A lot of room by the guard. They've switched the sweep up to try to get some extra curl here.
Great sweeping, guys.
Brings it into
And
the
enough
12 foot
to sit
a
too.
second.
Not
Could have
sure.
used 2 or 3 feet more weight on that to get it buried a little farther. I don't think it's dead behind cover, but Sherry Anderson will make a play on the open shot first there. You
There you
can
go.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 more feet and that's
Yeah.
completely disappeared behind the guard.
Feel like 9?
Yeah, 9.5. I don't think you need to.
9.5. Yeah. Okay, 9.5. How does that look?
Yeah, I like this.
9.5 on the nose, guys.
Yeah. You think I can have an inch more?
See, an inch is different than a smidge, just if you're wondering.
But is it more or less?
It's less than a smidge.
need a conversion chart at some point in time.
Really hard, Allie.
I haven't heard anybody ask for 2 smidges yet. Sherry Anderson looking for the nose hit here.
Nice shot.
Wanted the nose because she didn't want to leave a pocket back there. If she drives that by, the yellow might have rolled over left 2 and gives her shot rock now, so Ashley Howard can't simply ignore this stone.
Yeah. Still going.
Gonna play the hit on it, look to roll maybe towards that wide corner guard. I thought she might play the freeze.
Yeah. Given the scoreboard, you mean?
Yeah, well, you could.
I know.
You know, you make the freeze, you're still gonna have a shot for 2 no matter what.
Yeah.
I think it ran good. It ran pretty good.
Strong board.
Strong word. Okay.
Yep.
Clean. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Clean. Whoa. Off.
Whoa.
Off. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Clean.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. Roll. Roll. Roll.
Makes the hit and does roll towards that corner guard.
Still wide open, but good attempt there at getting around that corner that's almost not a corner.
Well, probably brought it into the eye line, so now Sherry Anderson going to have to come from the inside out there. You can see
Oh, it is sort of edge
to edge. And we're getting into a spot where there haven't been a whole lot of hits thrown.
Yeah, and you could hear Sherry actually asking for a little help from Nancy. Trying to remember what the ice will do here.
Couldn't go crazy.
I think it should curl some way.
Yeah.
That's okay with the 10?
Yeah.
Tightening it up just a little.
Firm. 9-5. At least 9-5. 9. Yep. Whoa.
Okay.
Makes the hit, but the shooter's going to roll across and out of play. So Ashley Howard have a chance to draw, and if she can hit the rings anywhere, pick up her deuce to tie things up here after 6 ends.
So okay?
Yep. So a couple feet more than draw? Yeah, I think so.
Brenny and already discussing what they think they need for the weight.
Okay.
This is a shade wider than their draw path.
Okay.
Last try I threw was in the first end over here.
Yeah. I would say a little less. Yeah.
Like the ice is a little less?
Yeah.
It's a little slower.
Slower.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would like a touch more than you draw. To the
Yeah. Okay, let's make it.
Everybody's on the same page.
Now we're about to find out if that's the right page.
Maybe a lot there, take it easy. Whoa.
Out of Ashley's hand, a little worried it might be a
What's all
little
there?
much.
Whoa, you idiot.
Needs to grab some fresh ice.
Nothing out of the sweepers. They back right away. I don't think this was a question if they were on the right page. I think Ashley might have thrown a little more weight than she had in mind, and it's going to be just a little too much. Slides through the back. Opportunity missed there. The Howard foursome picks up the single point, but they will trail going into the 7th end.
Totally my first time. I'm very excited. Don't worry, we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna go run some practice, and then we're gonna actually play games. Really? Yeah. Awesome.
Not be better. Could be even better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
And all of the action moving along here at a rapid pace in draw 8. We'll quickly again recap all the scores. Game's getting a little tighter.
Yeah, they sure are. Over on sheet A, I did glance over. I saw a lot of rocks in play, and you see on the scoreboard there it was a steal of 1. Eberle plays a double raise on a Silvernagel front 12-foot rock to attempt to chip Silvernagel off the button and count, but it sails by, and Silvernagel steals a point. Gets that a little closer, 5-4. Over here on sheet C, Mitchell already sits 1 and needs to draw to a piece of the 4-foot. Comes up just light to score the single point. Score there now 5-2 for Barker. And over here, Streifel got a pretty big deuce. Streifel has a hit for 2 after Holland's double attempt. Only removed 1 Streifel rock, and Streifel was right on to the nose to count the 2 points. Score 4-1. Streifel over Holland.
Line's good. No weights on there. Top 4.
Well, the Howard team is going to try to get themselves back into here. They start the 7th end off with a guard. See that Yellowstone on the corner was there by Allie Jenkins. Now the come around on the center guard. The one thing I didn't see the call, whether they were playing for the 2 centers yet or whether they were trying to come right into the range, but she ends up with 2 centers.
You don't like this, hey, Cher?
Here? No. Either here or check that.
Okay, make contact there, yeah. This backing. Similar weight to what you gave us there. Back 8. Back 12.
Whoa.
It's a little hot. Back 12.
Slow.
Back 12.
This coincided. I think we got a little bit of a pick there.
Nice shot.
I think it's working out
It's going to
perfectly.
work out though.
Very good throw, Allie.
Shot, Allie.
Perfect weight. Great shot.
Yeah, no, done well. And those high guards playing the tick are harder.
Weight was perfect.
Nice shot.
Still things to work with for Ashley Howard. She's going to look for the higher guard here from Caitlin Corbin, and then we'll be at the 6th stone, and Sherry Anderson will be able to start peeling, but there's a lot of rocks out front that she's going to have to negotiate by or try to get some double peels. Now, they wanted this up higher, but they got to get it close to center, so bringing it now, and maybe just the fact that it was a little too heavy, trying to come by their own, but it nudges off.
Just peeling.
Straight up.
Megan Frericks, the little wobble there.
Right off, Allie.
Makes the hit. Shooter's not going to roll out of play, but does roll for a corner guard.
Good.
Good shot, Meg.
For Ashley Howard, you see her running up. One of the reasons she wants it up that high is you can see all 5 stones that are in play. As she gets it high enough, are in play for possible jams.
That's right.
You know what Sherry Anderson wants to do? She wants to keep the middle open, but if you keep this guard high enough, that's not an easy shot anymore.
Yeah.
It's better. Still we need to go. Yeah. Okay, it's starting to curl now. Okay, we're still 2.
She's backed away from this one. They're hoping it'll stop high enough to keep all 5 of those jams in play. I think it did.
Looks like it did. Sherry will try to double peel. She's certainly not going to be running this red anywhere near those yellows, so always played the whole end to be peeling these with the out turn.
Megan Frericks, definitely a better slide this time. Makes the hit on the first one, comes across, catches the second, and
Nicely
moves
done.
the third.
Really nice throw, Megan.
We do have an update over here. We're
I
going to
think
watch
hit
this
it.
live
I can only see a
over
corner.
on sheet D.
What kind of weight do you like?
This
Down
is
to-
the 7th end.
Oh, wait.
Down to last rock here for Amber
Yeah.
Holland, and they're looking at, they're trying to line up the double. I think it's really thin, and with where they put the broom, I would say they decided just to hit and stay for one.
Yeah, I'm assuming red is sitting 2.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not sure why you'd line up the double.
Good point.
I don't know. I don't mind.
And I have to think with that broom placement, they're just playing the nose hit.
Yeah.
Does look like it would be, again, we're not quite right in behind it. Looks like it would be really thin to get the double. And of course, you got the danger you could roll right across it and only get one. So Amber Holland, her final stone on the way. Picked up the brush fairly early. And they'll bring it right into the nose hit. And as is always the case, when you don't need it, you roll over behind the guard
Yeah,
perfectly.
exactly.
And pick up your single point.
Yeah. So make that score now 4-2, Streifel over Holland. While we were watching that, did you see, Sean, how? Why is
can't
there no
watch two
center
at
guard?
once, but Ashley Howard did get in behind that corner guard, remove the Anderson stone that was there.
Lots of weight. Met.
Seven. No line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does give Sherry Anderson a chance to keep the play away from the middle and still try to score her two. Looking for the come around here, and that didn't get anywhere near the guard.
Just board. Get it open. The open.
So now a chance for Ashley Howard if she can hit and roll back towards the middle, sit two. She's got a chance to get the force here in 7.
Yeah. And yes, she would be 2 down, but 2 down, playing the even ends, playing 8. It's not terrible.
All the way. Hard.
I will say, though, if she's going to be able to come back and win this game, she's going to want to do it in 10 ends because it doesn't sound to me like she's going to have enough voice to play
last.
11.
Well, she has another game yet today, too.
Well, she gets a little bit of break in between. We'll just suggest that perhaps she doesn't talk to Susan about antidotes because Susan doesn't appear to have that figured out yet. She did hear her name, though. Her head turned around as I was talking about that.
No line. 9. Close. 8.
Now with that little bit of a pocket formed by those two red stones, Sherry Anderson was looking for the freeze here and
Good shot.
is going to nudge that back a little bit.
Yeah, did
Sit
get
shot
shot
rock.
rock out of it in front of the tee line.
Wait, I think we know the line better. Stick around would be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Does that look good?
Just.
Okay.
You can see from that angle that last stone got just a little bit past the face. They probably would like to stay just a bit on the inside of that one so that Ashley Howard couldn't try to roll towards the middle. If you cluster rocks at the back corner behind a corner guard, all you need is one good freeze. You got your chance for 2.
Yeah.
So Ashley Howard here would like to get this one towards the middle where Sherry can't use those ones on the corner.
That's right. To ensure the force and not not the deuce.
Yeah, she
for
won't even
Anderson.
mind if she loses that one at the very back.
Exactly.
As long as she can roll to the center line. But this one's curling early. Got to get by not just the high guard, but there's another one closer to the rings. They're by that one as well. Makes the hit. Does nudge the stone at the back. But really didn't get the roll she was looking for towards the middle. And there's probably room for Sherry Anderson to get to the inside of that.
Yeah, looks like you can. Sherry obviously thinks you can.
I probably will be on the firmer side because
like
I
a
have
10,
been.
you're thinking?
Well, no, I'm thinking even more than that. How does that look?
Yeah.
Get across it. I don't have to. I mean, I don't even have to make
Sherry's
the double
line, I'll
if
be
I
on the
throw
firmer
it,
side
right?
because I have been. Meaning that even though she's trying to throw
9.5
normal,
now.
sometimes tends to throw a little more than what she plans. So might as well ice for it because it's what's coming.
How does that look to cross it with like 9.5?
Yeah, I like it. That's pretty good.
She doesn't have a lot of daylight by the guard. That's one of the reasons why she's throwing that little bit firmer weight. If you know you've got to hit it that solidly, if you're going to get a roll, you need a little more weight. But it does mean you have to flirt with the guard a little bit. Sherry Anderson with her first stone here in 7. Needs a hit and roll to set up a chance for the deuce. Now looking for extra curl.
Okay.
Not going to get the extra curl. It'll hit and roll back towards the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Whichever way you like, I think it's good.
Might as well stick with the board.
Ashley Howard, really the only discussion there is which way do we want to roll?
Yeah, exactly. Anything but jamming on the back.
Yeah.
There's no double, so you know what they're going to have to force.
Okay, let's make it. Yeah. Okay. Basically, rolling the broom is really nice.
I was just thinking the same thing. If she could roll to where the broom is, she's on that 4-foot line, a tricky spot.
Board.
But, as I said, you don't want to risk jamming it on that back one, leaving it in the rings. So, if anything, you're going to have to err on the side of rolling too far.
Board. Yep. Strong board. Yep. Oh. Well, clean. Corbin.
No roll, no roll.
Makes the hit, but it will roll all the way out of play. Still, Ashley Howard sitting 2. Sherry Anderson's going to have to try to take her single here.
Yeah.
Needs to just about bite the 8-foot.
Yep. Sherry's had a really nice handle on draw weight all week. She's made a lot of these.
Gotta give it that a little bit now. Like throw it there, kind of 14.5.
Yeah, 14, 16. Still good here?
Because I got some pretty high load times over on that side. But no, sorry, that was me. I just.
You can't gesture when your third's watching.
Yeah. Too many hand movements.
Final stone now from Sherry Anderson, drawing against 2. Howard counters in 12-foot, needs a just about bite 8-foot here. She would pick up her single point and a 2-point lead. Pressure's just cleaning.
Don't want to for weight.
And
You're good, you're good.
maybe a little worried it's firm.
You're good, you got
Looks like it's curling now. Nicely done.
14.
And brings that into the corner. The button will take her single point and a 2-point lead going into the 8th end.
You're here in my house. Come on in. Bring your friend. Yeah, make yourself at home. Here in my house.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
Well, we came into draw 8 with a log jam of teams and too many possible combinations to determine who was going to make the playoffs. The way things are looking right now, we could end up with a 4-way tie for first at the conclusion of this draw.
Yeah.
Tim, you've got the details on all of these games.
You're exactly right. Sheet A, Silvernagle Everly. Silvernagle sits 2 buried on the 8-foot for Everly's last shot, and Everly's draw is perfect, grabs a piece of the 4-foot for a single point, and here it
See
is.
it right there, our wizard at the control panel, Gary
Wizard.
CurlSask. Got
Yeah.
the video.
Nice shot. So make that score 6-4. Over here on the Barker sheet, Barker has a nose hit for 1 point. Score 6-2. Barker over Mitchell. And as you can see by the rocks in the back of the rings, we have quite a few to go yet here in the 8th end. Score still 4-2. Streifel over Holland.
Nice draw by Sherry Anderson with her final stone in the 7th end to pick up the single point, restore the 2-point lead. Ashley Howard now with last rock as we begin play in the 8th.
As you said, if the scores were to remain the same, and that would be your win-losses for these teams, you'd have Holland, Silvernagle, Anderson, and Streifel all sitting at 5 and 2.
And those 4 were the top 4 seeds coming into the event.
Yeah, they sure were. Now, having said that, you still have Justin Everly. Well, I guess Everly would have a loss there, so that would put them to the 4 losses.
Everly's playing against Silvernagle. If that holds up, she would pick up the win to go to 4 and 3. And Sherry Just already at 4 and 3. Those 2 teams would still be alive. And I guess 3 losses would be guaranteed to get something, because I think, if I've got it right, Streifel and Silvernagle play against each other in the final draw.
And so do Anderson and Holland.
There you go.
So 3 is very much alive.
But for Penny Barker, who's playing on sheet 3 and needs a little bit of help, that would not work out well for her. That would actually eliminate her at 4 losses.
Go here. Even half a round is all you need.
This spot will be good. Should be
So here's where we see the 5 rock rule coming into play.
with this one early, okay?
Yeah.
Coming around the center here.
Allie.
Looks like it's all here. 7.
Coming down.
7. No. Oh. Yes, sir. No. No.
Good throw.
Sit.
Sorry, Megan. Shoot.
Wasn't just sliding behind the tee line she was worried about. She didn't want to leave that in a spot where there's a double available. And
yeah. Probably a bit of
might
both
be
there.
later.
Back 4.
Wait's good.
Yep. Yep. Hard.
Hard. Back 8, back 12.
Whoa. 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 Ah. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, thought they maybe had been a little over-aggressive on the sweep call, and they backed away too far and just feather ticks the guard. Still able to make contact with the shot stone, pushes it
Sorry, Corbin.
to the back half of the button. Maybe more importantly, her shooter stays in the rings.
Real thin.
By staying in the rings, forces Sherry Anderson to make a play on it. She can't do anything further to protect those stones in the middle. Makes the hit, but stays right there. I don't think they wanted to stay in that spot behind the tee line.
She was looking for even a roll out there.
Ashley Howard already looking at the angle on the tight red guard. She's looking at it like she's playing it as a hit. I'm a little surprised she's throwing this much weight at it. You can always just tap that in and roll your shooter over to the corner.
Yeah, that's right.
10-5.
Whoa. Close. Off. Come on. Yep.
There is some good late movement in that spot. It almost caught them off guard again. She makes the angle run and does hold the shooter at the corner. Tight corner guard, but it's usable.
Just bump, guys. Yeah, I like bumps.
So throwing bumper at this.
The hair more. Grab a hair more. Bump.
Nancy Martin not going to be able to play for the roll behind cover. She'd have to jam it on the yellow to do that, so she's going to have to try to roll open.
Hair up. Hair firm. Clean. Hair firm. Clean.
Meg.
A little more than bumper weight, I think.
Makes the hit, rolls across the forefoot to the other side of the 8.
What do you like? Don't mind making that double. Yeah. Or the double.
You know, she certainly could be using these rocks that are on the tee line or hair
Well,
deep to
if
try to
not
generate
now,
some points.
probably later. I'm surprised they don't make the play on shot rock.
10-5.
You could always roll into these. You might nudge it over to leave a pocket too.
No.
Makes the hit, but a little thin, and the shooter will roll out of play.
Well, that one's pretty good.
Too many Carter guards to get ready. Rocks behind the tee line. Sherry Anderson deciding, I guess we may as well guard.
Yeah, tight center.
And the look on her face suggests to me I'm not thrilled about it, but
Yeah.
Line's good, dude. Hard line.
Line's good.
and we laugh, but you know, I know what she's thinking. The scoreboard says you don't want any more guards, but you look at the situation in the house.
Megan's rock.
And you're also on
You're in
thirds
a pretty good
last.
spot here.
Yeah.
It's-
Sorry. It's good, Allie.
This is really a steal situation.
Yeah.
You've got a rock on the button and a chance to bury it.
Yeah. Nice shot.
If anything, it might have overcurled just a hair, though. It left her room on the center line side to come down and nudge that back, sit on top of it.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't know if I can get.
Ashley Howard wondering if they can play it with enough weight. They're going to play the run back.
Take a little less for me. Yeah.
You bet.
This, I have to admit, this surprises me as well. I think that guard curled far enough they could make a play on shot, nudge it back, sit shot in front of it.
You got it. Keep going.
Whoa. Shoot her as far as you can.
Right over. Right over.
I'm tired of saying I agree with you, but I do there.
No. Okay. Well, I gave you there, and I thought you were smudged.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
So looking at replacing the center guard. Sherry's first.
Probably love to keep it just an inch or two farther over this time,
Right.
not leave that path.
Thing about that path, though, is they would have to start in the 4-foot line, so it does make it
That's
tough.
true.
I think so. Yeah, like if we're 7/8, cover the button side, but can be tight.
It's nice for speed here.
She's still nice, eh?
Yeah. Oh no, Allie, don't!
That's good, yep.
gone off nice now. Looks pretty good.
I think she said she wanted 7/8 on the across the center line side. That looks like pretty close to 7/8 to me.
Yeah, I think so. I guess they're thinking there's a hole there.
Going the wrong way, is that probably bored? What do you think?
Probably is with weight. The problem is they want to play it with quiet enough weight to stay in. That makes it tougher still.
Yeah.
So I think hack. Okay.
Wow.
Take the yellow if I can lend you mine. That's the nice, right? Yellow. Thinking hack. Okay. But yellow if anything. For me? Yellow one if anything. Okay.
If you just looked at this without knowing the ice, you'd say this does not look like enough of an opening to come through the attack. But we do know that 4-foot line has run very straight all week.
It is a tight hole. You did
Still
hear
looks tight, yeah.
Yeah, you did hear Ashley say if we are going to rub one, let's rub the center line one. So.
Hack. Yep.
And does rub the Yellowstone now. Will the shooter catch a piece of the rings? No.
Okay. Yeah. So need a little more room if anything.
I think
it is a hair stick your name in its face.
Maybe. Yeah. I think they're.
So replacing.
Nice, Gardner?
Placing probably looking tighter here. In fact, I think I saw her tap the top of the 12-foot.
Yeah.
As long as
Wouldn't
she's
hurt.
out far enough
Now
that
we
that
can go
stone at the
tighter, guys.
back
We can go top post.
8-foot that we're looking at right in front of Nancy. If she can't hit this stone and make the double and count, then it's high enough. And the tighter she gets, of course, the harder it is for Ashley to come around it and move that shot stone.
Yeah, line's most important here.
She could get the exact same line she had on the last one, put it in the top 12. I'm not sure how Ashley Howard scores.
Yeah.
A little tighter. Hit it. Hit it.
Definitely
hit it.
more weight.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard for line.
Yep. Hard. Hard, Allie.
Megan's a little worried about the late.
Well, if it's going over curl, you may as well come right to the 4-foot.
Yeah, it's looking like that's what's happening. Great weight.
No, I was good.
I
I just
hold the line, Allie.
I was tight.
Did I get
Well,
that?
got it into the 12-foot, but does leave Ashley Howard room to come down.
Does. This is not easy though.
Yeah. She has to nudge it just a little bit. It's the edge of that stone's actually right over top of the pinhole.
Spot. How's that? Okay.
So less than she threw in this good before.
Correct. Back 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a good look at it. I don't think you could get the measuring stick in there.
Got the whole pinhole.
I disagree. I don't think you've got all of it.
Yeah, you only have 3/4 of the pinhole.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking that back 12 weights, back 4 now.
Yeah, I like that.
Final stone here in the 8th end for Ashley Howard. Drawing against 3 Anderson counters. Needs to nudge the stone off the pinhole to pick up her single point. Really starting to curl now. Looks nice coming in. Did they leave it too long?
Has to move it a bit.
And will not move it enough. It's going to be a steal of 1 for Sherry Anderson. She'll take a 3-point lead into the 9th. Ashley Howard will continue to have last rock.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Well, tightening up again on sheet A, and we're keeping track of all the sheets with the possibilities of ties all over the place when the standings settle after this draw. Kim, what have we got?
Yeah, certainly lots of options everywhere. Well, nothing in play over on sheet A, and Silvernagel opt to play a really tough split, makes a beautiful shot, gets her 2 points, ties that game up at 6. And here we have a replay of the last shot here on sheet C. Mitchell looks like she has a shot to draw for 2, I think. See it come down here.
Brushers were just cleaning off and on most of the way down. No danger with the guards.
Very nicely
Comes by
done
that
for her.
red stone at the top of the 8-foot and pulls it into the side of the button. Does pick up her 2 points.
Yeah, make that score 6-4 now for Barker playing the 9th end. And over on sheet D here, you see there was a steal of 1 in the 8th end. Holland's last draw ends up fully on the button, frozen on top of a Streifel rock. Streifel had no safe shot to score. She just threw it away. So a steal of 1 for Holland. Make that score 4-3 for Streifel. There's a setup on our sheet.
You're leaving another guard up here anyway, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Call for the Anderson team was to come into the rings. The first one, it comes up short. It's a guard, and a really good call, I thought, by Ashley Howard. She, instead of throwing the corner guard, guards the guard, because in the free guard zone you can remove your own. So by guarding the yellow, Sherry Anderson not able to make a play to kill that guard, and going to come around it.
Yeah, it's locked.
As much as Ashley Howard would love to play on the corners, the other side of it is she wants rocks in play.
Yeah, and you know, they all count the same.
Okay, it's all right.
A little deep than what they were looking for there.
Yeah, that's not a good end for Allie Jenkins. A little high on the first one and deep on the second.
Okay. Maybe this side.
Throw in the corner now. There's a good shot of the crowd here in Humboldt. As we've said many times, we have had great support. A lot of crowd support, a lot of noise out here. And we've got bleachers on the ice as well that are full and noisy.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't know what to say about that crowd. That's the crowd on the warm side of the glass. They're not quite as brave as some of the ones who've come out here. They've endured the cold, but they've certainly kept us entertained. It's been loud out here. I think the curlers love it too. This is something you don't get very often.
You're saying that picked a bit.
14.
1, 2, 3, 4. Can't peel yet. I'm a good counter. Oh, there we go. And now we see what Hans has on today. He's sporting CurlSask. How good is that?
There's a few chicken hats over there as well.
Yeah. You might have to get a picture taken.
You just don't see anyone like that on the warm side of the glass.
All the fun people are out here?
Well, that's not the way I was going to say it, but...
Just full weight.
Nice shot by Megan.
I don't think there are any cowbells on the warm side of the glass either.
It's a little quieter in there.
Do you want to freeze on this one? That makes more sense. Top 8? Yeah. Okay. Should be all there.
Caitlin Corbin now looking to come around, play the corner freeze on that stone at the top of the 8-foot.
Coming down. Back 8.
Okay, that's fine. Lots of room.
Or back 8.
It's trying to, girl. Back here. Yeah.
Go, 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 go.
Go, Ash. Go, 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 go.
Plan B, they're coming around everything.
Nice shot.
Actually, that works out fairly well for them. Poor Ashley Howard, I don't think she's going to have a hard time making it through another end and a half. That voice, just every word, it just cracks.
So double peel here. Sends that yellow one somewhere into the pile in the house too.
No more than half.
Depending on how they hit it.
Little down. Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, curl up. Just a hair.
Megan Frericks with the big weight, but catches the first one a little bit too thin.
Yeah, as Sherry said, didn't even think you could hit it that thin and not catch the back one.
Well, technically she did catch it, but just touched it on the way by. Really almost didn't move it at all.
Yeah, just a smidge, right?
I thought you said a smidge was more than an inch. That would have moved it. It would only have been a third of a smidge.
Looks like they have some major sweeping to do on this one.
They had one earlier in the end pick come up short. But I think this one was just thrown that light, and that's the second hog rock of the end. That's tough. You're trying to get back in the game. You need
Makes it hard.
Need to get at least a deuce here.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're going to call a timeout.
You like peeling
I
again?
just wanted to see how, well, I guess I can't really jam that. If I get a decent weight, it's coming off that, right?
It should if you
This
hit
wasn't
a good.
a major discussion that we needed to have. Getting a little tight for time, and Nancy Martin wanted to take a look at this.
If they peel, she's not going to guard hers, and she's not going to guard ours. I think just peel the guard.
I certainly like the
You
peel.
don't like the peel? Oh, you don't like the guard. No, I agree. We're 3 up. If you do end up jamming that, then she's freezing, and then what do we do? Right? I like the peel, I think.
I think they talked themselves into the peel pretty quickly. See what Coach Cheryl Beckler has to say. She's coming.
Not the end of the world, right? And this house is pretty small. Yeah. And she's not going to throw a corner, because then we will run something back, right? I think I like the peel. If you can see a little bit more of that.
That's the one part of it I don't know that I agree with. I think she might throw the corner.
I did too.
Yeah, that's what's gonna get us in trouble. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Which turn? Out turn?
Yeah.
We agree.
Penny's throwing 7 and 8. Looks like they're throwing them straight up too. Yep.
It is such a long walk. Of course, the coach is inside behind the glass, so when they have to come out for a timeout at the far end, it takes them a long time to get there. Coach got there just in time to say 2 words, which they had already decided on.
Yes! Hard!
Really hard, Allie.
Hard, guys!
A little bit of the panic, yes, in Sherry's voice.
Well, after all that discussion and the coach deciding you were right, you jammed that in and managed to move all the yellows and leave that red sitting at the back of the 4-foot.
And, yeah, exactly.
And it's shot rock now.
Yeah, that to the wing. Could be like, I don't know. Okay.
Well, if you're going to try to score 3, you want to come around something, but you don't want to leave a double either, so I understand them talking about possibly coming to the wing as well.
It's on right now. It needs to.
Got a lot of room by the guard. Curling now, though.
Yeah, there it goes.
All there.
All there.
I can.
It'll be you if you can.
Top 4.
If you
Top
can.
4. Top 4.
Yep, right there is good. Nice shot.
Perfect shot by Carly Howard. That stone's in behind cover. Stone at the back of the 4-foot can be removed, but then you've still got shot rock buried.
Just a 10.
Okay, just a 10 right up. More than a 10. Yep.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah, roll it.
Didn't really want to sit right there, but
no, they sure didn't.
got a last little bit of movement and stays there.
Caught.
Freeze isn't quite there.
But if you go on top of the one I just threw, or will we be third?
Second, third.
Don't know that it matters that you're shot right now. You've got two ways to get at that yellow, direct, plus the double is there on the other yellow. They're going to look to make a play on it now. You do have room just to the inside. You can see it from that angle. You could get another one underneath
Hit
here.
and roll. That would be the best result here, yeah.
You'd be behind the tee line, but with that stone at the top of the 4-foot, it'd be hard to get by it and make a play on the back stone.
And there's that. When it does go, it goes.
Going to have to go now just to get by their own. Not going to.
Oh, big
the spin at the end. Both of them do stay in the rings.
They're just going sideways.
Well, hit and sit 3 or else just go here.
Well, what does she have if I don't go
Yeah,
there?
I just don't know if I like leaving these outside ones
No,
around.
I think we hit this, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have a great.
No, I agree.
Right?
10?
Yeah.
Those yellows are pretty
Rolling off or
pretty
sitting?
easy double there.
I like sitting here to be 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So right on the nose. Sit 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, just when Howard looked at having things going their way, that was a pretty unfortunate way to do that.
I still don't know that they needed to play the hit yet. She's still going to have a chance for 2. There's nothing Sherry can do here that's going to take away a chance for 2. She's got the rock and the 12-foot on the other side. There's doubles available already.
Yeah.
And with where Sherry's going to roll to here, there's going to be another double. Of course, Ashley Howard could just choose to ignore all of the yellow stones and
just play the straight come around.
Straight draw. You can set up your deuce that
Get
way
your
too.
2 that way for sure. That's what I was thinking.
Good. That's good.
Especially if you come around with that one on the back of the 4-foot there.
Sorry, it's big, but I'm riding my broom a little to hold myself up.
Can't really throw a lot of weight, so you can't roll out ever.
There's nothing wrong with playing the out-turn come around that one on center. Leave anything exposed. You got the jam on the back of the 4-foot.
Boy, that hit and roll looks really tough.
The one she's playing?
Yeah, now she's looking at the
I
double.
think she's playing the
thought
double.
okay, you're.
Yeah.
She was looking at coming off the inside. Of that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Need 11?
I think I need a little more ice.
Yeah.
Actually, if she hits it just right, she might get all 3 of them moving. Although I don't think she needs that. If she gets the double here and rolls to the outside a bit,
right,
she can actually sit in front of that other yellow and make it difficult for Sherry to get it out.
Right, without jamming it or Sherry rolling out herself, giving her perhaps the shot at 2.
Somewhere in the middle. Okay. Something wrong.
There you go.
There you go.
You got it.
So Ashley Howard with her first stone here in the 9th end, trailing by 3.
Really coming down.
Needs a double here to try to set up a chance for her deuce.
Take the other way.
Over curled on her a little bit and
caught in the middle.
Doesn't get any of them, but still not a gimme for Sherry Anderson to get that one out of the rings.
Does she have to now?
What if I go?
Exactly.
Can't leave a double.
As long as you don't leave a double, that's right. But I don't think you need to play on it.
This is where I threw that and it actually curled.
Yeah, maybe that it's just too dangerous to try it.
Been good.
I think it's still, 14-2 here. Throw it there, 14-2.
Carly's. Top 4, guys.
I got 14-4 on Carly's. That was top 4 there.
On this side?
On this side.
On this side? I think, that's 14-2, 14-2 kind of weight, I think, hey?
Yeah.
While they settle into the hacks there, we've got Last Rock on its way on sheet A.
But biting forward is great.
Chantel Eberly
Mostly buried, biting
sitting
forward.
one, you can see there on the corner of the button, needs to get right to the face of that stone if she's going to pick up a second point. Great job by the Brushers, comes down, nudges now. Even then, did it have enough of the forefoot? And the way the hands went up, I think she did pick up her deuce there.
Looks like they're not measuring, so yeah.
That's a big 2 points there. That's the Robin Silvernagel was making the comeback. That's the game that may have prevented us from having a 4-way tie. And Chantel needs to keep herself in the mix as well.
They have to work this one hard to get there, just a little short.
Jesus, I threw that.
Well, that leaves Ashley Howard.
Shot for 2.
Well, it's 2 at least. Looks like that's third, so had it not been far enough in to be third, Ashley might have tried this little run for the double for 3. It's only there for 2 now, so she'll play it just straight back. And that's why you heard them imploring the sweepers try to get that into full 12. She needed to beat that one on the back. Ashley Howard might have tried the raised thin double for a potential tie game.
You started out good, Gord?
Then it wasn't. But then it just went down.
Last stone here for Ashley Howard. Needs the short run back for 2.
Off! This one's dying.
Needs to hit it just a hair on the high side. Needs some curl here. Makes the hit. Does get enough of the yellow to push it through the back, and her shooter stays in the 8. Picks up her 2. We're down to a 1-point game. Sherry Anderson will have Last Rock and the lead coming home.
Totally my first time. I'm very excited. Don't worry, you're gonna have a great time. We're gonna go to practice and then we're gonna actually play a game. Really? Awesome.
Not be better. Could be even better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
Well, all 4 games, all still on the ice. All 4 games into the 10th end. We've got some scoring updates for you, Kim.
Sure do. We saw the draw for 2 there by Chantel Eberly, so the score there, 8-6 in favor of Eberly, playing the 10th end. It's coming down to some great shots all over the place. Over on sheet C, Barker simply had the nose hit for 1, so puts them 3 up playing the 10th end, 7-4, Barker over Mitchell. And then over on sheet 4, or D, I should say, 2 big points by Streifel, looking to sit 2 and get the force. Holland chips off the guard, going after a Streifel shot rock, leaving a draw to the 8-foot for the extra point. No problem with that. The draw was made. Put Streifel 3 up, playing Holland. Playing 10, I should say, against Holland. So we're in the 10th end all over the place.
Well, Ashley Howard got the 2 points she needed in the 9th end to make this a traditionally manageable situation. Let's call it that. You only need to steal a single.
Right.
And she only got 1. She would have needed to steal 2. That's a little tougher, but there's kind of that standard game plan everybody goes after when you need to get a steal of 1 in 10. She threw the long guard first. Now looking at the tighter one. Didn't get it quite lined up, but great separation.
Yeah, Anderson team playing the tick or pushing the red into the house. Split.
It's better. Gotta go back 8. Back 8.
This one's really curling. They might have wanted to push it into the rings, but they don't want to push it straight.
That's pretty good. Although their shooter didn't really.
No, shooter still stayed in that center line area.
Yeah.
That makes.
They can center guard. I don't know if I don't want to leave any doubles either. Right. What about this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it better to come this way?
Coming dead around.
Yeah. You like coming this way out? We're gonna be out. Okay. Just a 3.
I like this call. I think that Ashley's looking at coming from. And of course, if you come from the other side and you don't happen to curl in there far enough, which is what happened on the last one, you could leave a double on the tight guards. Not likely to leave a double here, playing it this way.
Line's good. What do you think? 3. Just stay close. 3. Line only.
This one's really curling. They've got to get by the long one.
Line only.
It's going to rub that stone.
Yeah.
It does offer some protection for the shot rock.
Half? Little better than half.
8 3/4. Firm.
Looking at playing the double peel.
Call the brush on this one right away, and you can see it's already starting to move across that center line. Makes the hit.
There
Does
you go.
catch the yellow. Boy, almost caught the
Yeah.
red in the house as well.
Yeah, nice double peel by Megan.
Here, eh? Yeah.
Throwing
The
the
only
center
other
guard.
thought is a corner. Get down here, I can't talk.
There you go. Time isn't an issue here.
Not a huge issue.
Howard's
It
got
is.
4
It's
minutes and
corner.
almost 5
They can
minutes
hit
left
all
to
the
go in a
center, which is
timeout.
good. Or we just bury 2 around corners and she has to draw on this.
Leave your guard anywhere.
Or we
Good.
throw it center and
Throw
she
it.
runs it in and we're done. Yeah. I think a corner.
Just off. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's not a traditional call, but I do like the thought process that went behind it. You heard her say it's one double, and you throw the center guard. Sherry Anderson's got nothing to lose by running it towards that stone in the 8-foot. If she ever kills them both,
A little less. We're out here.
you don't have much to work with.
Yeah.
Ashley Howard's already thinking ahead to what we've talked about before. Your 2 ways to steal a point are to bury one good in the middle or to sit 2 and hope for a rollout. She's already thinking about sitting 2.
Yeah, I agree.
3, 2, 3. Coming down. Should be a 2.
Interesting way to get here. Is that because you think the center line's fudging, or why are they playing it
wonder.
this way?
I wonder if that's not something to do with it, because we did see both teams struggle with the weight the last end. Sherry Anderson
Who
said she really threw
Exactly.
that draw, and it came up in the 12-foot.
Barely got.
And even Ashley's first hit, they said it really came down. So
Yeah.
Anywhere they're gonna.
Which then also plays in your mind with Sherry a little too. Have her sit 2 or sit 1 and hope, or whatever the case may be. I don't know if you want to be drawn to that 4-foot right now in that fudge path.
Yep.
if that's what's happening.
For now, making a play on that shot stone. They're going to have to go to get by the guard. Oof, just by. Great job by the Brushers. Makes the hit and rolls to the back of the forefoot. That won't bother Ashley Howard at all. That's another rock she might be able to use later on.
It's pretty nice here, eh? Yeah, it's nice out here. A little less.
So looking now for the high center guard. And
yeah.
Possibility that she could jam one on either side and spin it back to the middle.
That's right, there's options. And that one on the center line back behind the tee line is certainly just going to help the Howard team.
The sweepers indicating this might be a little deeper than they were hoping for, though.
Just a two. One? Just one. Just over. You're good now.
Hurt two earlier, but that again, maybe, as we're talking about, some fudge coming into the middle that came down. If that curls another half a rock, it's tough to peel it from either side. She'd have to hit it awfully thin, I think, to jam it on this turn now. Nancy Martin with the peel attempt. Sweepers have not laid a lick to this one, and she does jam it. It was thin.
Good throw. That's good.
Doesn't spin too far back to the center, but does cover a bit of the forefoot now.
A little bit changes it. Looks like Ashley's considering using it now.
This might be one of those ones where, of course, you've only got 3 rocks left if you've decided you want to sit 2, and are you really going to get a better guard than that now?
Yeah.
Might not be a bad idea to come in.
That's fine.
You know, all 4 sheets going out here. Somebody's either 2 up or 3 up, but gosh, we have action and rocks everywhere.
Yeah, let's put it this way: the teams that are up aren't playing the ends they want to play.
I don't know if it's not playing the ends they want to play, 5 rock rule,
Well,
all
5 rock
sorts of
dictates
things.
that, yeah.
Ooh, coming a little deep here. Well, maybe more than a little deep.
Does hang on for a bite of the back 12 foot, so still keeps the notion of sitting 2 alive, although not a lot of danger with the rock back there.
Yeah.
So Nancy Martin a chance to peel this corner guard.
Whoa.
A little wobble there. And calls the sweep on right away.
I think they're
Sherry
crossing
Anderson's
face.
calling them off to play the other way now.
As long as they don't jam on the one in the rings. Ooh.
She's probably going after it, right? Yeah, I think you want to make it really good underneath. It's got to be buried. Yeah, I think it's probably buried. That's a sheet less than you. Okay. Yeah, it's over a touch. I found this path is pretty nice. I thought that one would have died. Yeah, I thought so too. Pretty good here, eh? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Carly slipped pretty nice too. Okay. So I threw that draw down the slow path to T line. Is that too much? Maybe a touch too much. Yeah. Close to that though. Interesting. Okay, we just want this one to be buried. Okay.
Ashley Howard looking to bury a stone with her first here.
Can't touch it.
Not only are all these games in the 10th end at the same time, they're all throwing at the same time. It's getting very noisy out here, but this is sure sliding.
Well, it's sliding, but I think it's buried. That was what mattered more. Forces Sherry Anderson to play the draw.
Yeah.
How does that look? I think so. Just here, right, Cher? Or what?
Yeah, well, frozen on it is fine.
Sorry,
as long as
here?
we're sitting 2.
2 on that. Yeah, should be good. As long as they're sitting 2, but I'd like to be frozen, and then if she freezes on that, I can just blast.
Yeah. Okay. Good. 14-5 should be close.
Sherry Anderson with her final stone here. Or pardon me, her first stone. She's got a last rock here in the 10th end.
Wants to make sure she's sitting 2 here. Frozen's fine, even on top of the tee line's fine. As long as she's sitting 2 when all is said and done. Over on sheet D here, Streifel Holland. Here's where we saw Streifel 3 up playing 10, and Amber has draw to the 8-foot here for 3 points.
Good.
Looking pretty nice.
Coming into the top 4-foot, so they're headed to an extra end over there on sheet D.
Yeah.
On our sheet, Sherry Anderson making the corner freeze, but probably left it in the spot where if Ashley makes the corner freeze, she'd be shot rock.
An inch more ice.
And Sherry Anderson will have to draw to the 4-foot with her last one.
Draw to the full 4 for the win. I was just going to go back to the striker point, getting the 3 points there for Holland. We've seen that a few times now. 3 up coming home. And this 5 rock rule is pretty doable. Or it certainly seems to have been.
In the corner.
You got to freeze.
Called their timeout.
She just gets out the 4, but she wins, right?
Yeah.
I don't see anything else, do you?
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, right there.
That's what I was saying, because if she smashes it, it jams.
Yeah, right there.
Do you want it on the angle so it jams, or just make it?
Well,
You don't have much real estate to even be shot over this one.
I know. You got to make it. Yeah, anything like you only have to get an inch on that.
Yeah,
1 inch.
that's what, yeah.
1 inch, and it's going on to there. If you get 3/4 on that, you probably hit it across the top. Yeah, same shot she just did. Exact same shot.
Yep.
Keep it on the high side.
Okay.
Deal.
You guys know what you got to do? Get it there.
There you go.
So we were here.
Yeah, you only got room just to kind of get in the corner. Just a touch, really.
So you go right to edge of 4?
Yeah, you were probably, about there, got you there. So yeah, probably.
Okay.
You probably, that was on its own too.
Slower here?
I don't think so. It's only an inch more.
Got lots of time.
Just need more.
Okay.
No need to worry this time.
On the bonus for Ashley Howard here, she did just throw down this, basically the same path. They did say it's about an inch wider. They've got a little bit more ice. She does have to stay on the inside corner, but the draw weight has been so sensitive in different paths. So she's got the advantage of knowing she just threw down this. Carly had thrown down the rock before, so the sweepers have seen a couple down this path. They know what the weight's going to look like.
3rd shot in this exact path, so they should have a pretty good handle on this one, that's for sure.
Trade tight. Yep. Hard line. Hard.
Worried a little about line early.
Has to stay on the inside of that rock, and it's curling already. Really curling towards that edge of that 4-foot. Brushers are giving it everything they've got. And it's going to come up a little bit short. Sherry Anderson not going to have to throw her final stone. She is sitting 2. She'll pick up the win. And that moves Sherry Anderson to 5-2. She'll sit back and watch the rest of these finals and see where that leaves her going into tonight's draw, but she knows she's going to be playing one of the other front runners. Kim Hudson has made her way down to ice level, and we're going to see if we can hear a word from the winning skip. Sherry Anderson is with Kim now. Kim?
You're looking great. That was a wild and woolly game.
Yeah, it was, and the ice got really fudgy, and it was quite a bit different the last 2-3 ends, and it fooled us, obviously, with a couple of hogs. So that's too bad, because you don't like to see that. But
Yeah, I'm guessing you're happy you didn't have to draw to the forefoot for the win, or you knew this track here.
Well, I just thrown there, but the draw going in 9, I thought I hummed it pretty good, and they swept it all the way just to get full 12. So, yeah, it was okay because it wasn't against the law. So, and I probably would have had some backing to come to mine anyway. So I felt okay with it. But yeah, if you never have to throw the last one, that's fine.
That always makes it a little easier. Okay, the way things are shaping up, we got log jams everywhere. Looks like you're in the hunt for it all. Does it make any difference where you finish 1, 2, 3, or 4 in this page playoff?
Wow. 2 would be nice, obviously. I don't know that we have a chance for 1 right now. I guess it depends on that game, but 2 would be nice. Better than 3 or 4, but we'll take whatever we get. And it was good to win this game this afternoon because we had to at least split them. And now we got a chance to get in the 1-2 game. So
yes, you certainly do. Okay, good luck. Thanks, Sherry.
And we've got another final while we're watching there as Penny Barker picks up the win over Jessica Mitchell on sheet 3. And now down to Skip Stones on sheet A. Chantel Eberly sitting in the hacks, facing 4. Don't know how much of it she can see, but she's up by 2. She doesn't have last rock. If she can at least get 3 of these out of here, and with the angles the way they are, if she could see it all, they might all go, but she doesn't have all of it available. Gonna throw some weight at it and see how many red ones she can make go away. Sweeps off and on. Now they're looking for some extra curl. Makes the hit. Makes 2 of them leave the forefoot, but leaves Robin Silvernagel sitting 2 and a chance to draw for the win in a game that she has trailed since the beginning.
Yeah, trailed 5-0 at one point.
This could put her alone in first place pending the outcome of the extra end game on sheet D, which we'll go to in a moment.
Yeah, you want to take a bit of time. Make sure you have this right when you go to throw this. All of a sudden, it's sometimes a bit of a holy cow, what just happened? And you get in and throw it quickly because you're so happy that you have this that you.
Well, I'm sure they're discussing weight before she throws it too. We've seen that all week long. You heard Sherry Anderson talk about it in the post-game interview about the draw she threw in the 9th. Nothing out of the brushers so far. She can come down to her own, but she sure can't bump it very far. Comes down to the pocket in between them. That's not enough to nudge either one of them too far. She will pick up her 3 points and the win. Robin Silvernagel moves to 6-1. That drops Chantel Eberly to 3-4. And depending on what happens here on sheet 4, the last game left to be decided, 4 losses may be eliminated. Amber Holland's going to do her very best to keep the 4 loss teams in the hunt.
Holland needs to win, and the 4 losses are alive. That's right. So moving over to this game here. Holland is the team that needs to steal. Streifel has last rock. So they're throwing their guards.
Expect we'll see a couple more center guards and appeal attempts, but with that one high guard blocking the edge of the forefoot, I don't know, Kim, do you wait right till the end and go behind that and hope that's a good enough one to steal, or do you go behind it a little earlier and play the sit-2 game that we've talked about before?
Well, you know, that's 6 of one, half dozen of another. I'm not totally
sure.
It depends
then they hit a guard on the nose.
Yeah, and that changes everything.
You're coming around now.
Yep.
just to remind everyone, final draw of the round robin. It's actually a little earlier tonight. It starts at 6:30. There you see it. It's available on CurlSask TV, or CurlSask.ca, or SaskTel Max TV. And if anybody's wondering why the Friday night draw is a little bit earlier, and I haven't looked ahead, but I believe it is because in the unlikely scenario of 3 tiebreaker rounds, the first tiebreaker, I believe, is later on tonight now. I think.
Do you really know what you're talking about, or are you just making that up?
Not for sure, but there's so many combinations. I don't think there's any possible way we could end up with 3 tiebreaker rounds now. Too many teams have already been eliminated for that, I think.
Yeah.
Not able to get that stone all the way around, but it is actually a dangerous stone. You have to remove it. It could be used as a guard itself. You come right around it, buried in the forefoot. Jolene Campbell makes the hit. I wouldn't mind if the shooter sticks around here.
Exactly. So that they can always, if they can see anything of this, they can always play the pick, and that can be the counter.
Cindy Ricci now, this is the third's final stone. Looking again to come in on the top of the forefoot.
Yeah, looking to make it better than she did on her first one.
I don't know, Kim, would you ever think about calling this one to the back forefoot and hope you could talk the Streifel team into playing a freeze?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think they'd fall for that?
I don't think so.
Well, we're going to find out. I actually think she left enough of that exposed she could hit it anyway.
Pretty much wide open, yeah.
But if you could ever get it buried right about that deep, if you freeze to it, you could freeze on top of it again, so. Jolene Campbell doesn't need to stay on this one. They've already got the 12-foot stone that they could use for a hit and roll out on the last one.
Well, I know where they don't want to stay.
This is really starting to curl. They want to roll somewhere.
Yeah, that's
they didn't.
Not where they want it to be.
Remember, looking at hitting and rolling underneath on that, you could freeze as
Yeah,
well, and
that's
hope
what I
they
kinda,
squeeze it over.
What I kind of thought would be the call.
Yeah, I agree. I would think the only reason she might be considering the rollover is that there's 2 guards out there. You can't really peel them both.
What I was going to say, too, in defense of the players, we haven't been watching this ice. We don't necessarily really know. Maybe you get the hit and flop and you can't. Or roll behind, as you said, double guards and you can't get there. But they're changing their mind. Looks like they are playing the freeze, are they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Freeze maybe looking to tap it just a little bit. I can't tell from where we are if that rock is behind the pinhole or not. You definitely want to be shot when you're done with this stone.
Right.
This is something we've seen a few times here this week. When you get down to that one game and an extra end and they're the only ones left out here, even the crowd quiets right down. There's no chatting, no sounds out here at all, and it's suddenly just
quiet.
Yes. Do we have to talk in the golf commentator voice?
Yeah.
When we whisper at the,
and a golf
at
clap.
the 18th hole?
Yeah. Well, we're right by where they're throwing as well, so.
Got a nice line. She was looking to maybe tap it an inch or two. This is going to be a little farther than that.
Yeah. Hair heavy there.
Well, decision time for Kristen Streifel. Do you maybe try to make that roll first?
Make it now. You might
hard
not
to roll
have
away
to throw
without
your
jamming
last
it.
one. Yeah. Yeah. There we see a timeout called.
They're not tight for time, but you do get one timeout in the extra end. And this is probably the time to call it if you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
For no apparent reason, there's a look at us as we watch on.
Yeah.
This is the toughest sheet for us to actually watch live. We actually have to stand to look over. We can't
see.
Where we're sitting, we can't see the home end of sheet 4. We can see the away end, and no mics on these players, so we're using the gestures as much as we can to try to determine what they're looking at. Coach Rob Meekin making his way out. The long walk we've referred to again. At least he's on the edge sheet. That's the other thing that affects those sheets in the middle. They have to wait for the players on the edge to finish shooting before they can come past.
Okay, Rob's just about there.
I think most of the discussion has been basically, do they want to roll under or do they want to play the nose hit? Then when Amber rolls under, she'll only be 8 foot, and you've got the full 4
Draw
for the
to the
win.
4.
I think that's what the discussion is.
And it certainly could be. And like I said, we don't know the sheet. And if the ices remain consistent, and you certainly know what the draw to the 4 foot is, that'd be great. But if you're questioning at all, what the draw weight is,
the thing
in
is, if you
different
play
paths.
the roll too far, she draws to the corner of the button. You might not be able to get it out, and now you've got to draw to the button.
Yeah. Looks like their call is they're going to just try to play for right on the nose.
Forces Amber Holland to deal with it.
Right. They'd love to get edge to edge, I'm sure, or maybe even a little bit more than edge to edge so that Amber can't roll under.
Don't know what was said, but a little chuckle there. Jolene, of course,
Yeah.
Jolene and Amber, former teammates.
Yeah. Jolene just turned around and said, "What shot do you want to throw with your last, Amber?"
I've tried that before, actually. The other guy never answers. Kristen Streifel has last rock here in the extra end. This is her first. Needs to get up to the nose to avoid the jam at the back.
Looks like she is. Nice throw.
Comes up just enough to pass that by the stone. Sitting on the back edge of the 8 foot.
Now we're going to see the timeout by Amber, and they're going to try to get under.
They're not calling the timeout because they needed it. They know what they're going to play, and she's still got lots of time. She's got a minute and a half to actually throw this rock as well, but no point in rushing.
That's right. Interesting that they need to get under, but you notice with the ice they're taking, they're not throwing quietly at this. I'm assuming that's because they don't want to get out in that 4 foot line. It's easier to throw if this sheet is like the others.
Well, I'm looking at the way the Kristen's went down, and I'm not so sure that she isn't throwing quietly at this. Kristen's stone did not make much of a move. Well, looks like she's got control weight anyway, maybe in that 10-second range.
Yeah,
Starting to curl
I agree,
now.
But this is moving.
By the front one. Makes the hit. Rolls over to the corner of the 4 foot, and
like
it is
called.
buried. Well, Amber Holland has done the best she could do here.
Yeah, it leaves Kristen a draw to the full 4 for the win.
Kristen Streifel played the nose hit on her first one just so that she'd have this much real estate to draw to. We haven't been watching this game. Of course, it's not the feature. Kristen Streifel's had a lead for much of this game. We don't know when the last time she threw a draw might have been.
Yeah, that's right. Sweepers are on it, but not panicked.
Brushers are saying it's all there. As this comes into the 4 foot area, you'd expect it to fudge down a little bit. Now they pick up the brush a little bit.
That's pretty good.
Kristen Streifel with a final stone in the extra
Nicely
end is
done.
going to bring this right into the back of the button. Does pick up the single point and the win over Amber Holland. And that will eliminate all of the teams at 4 losses. So we've got just one game left to go tonight. We'll quickly recap all of these scores in draw 8. It was Robin Silvernagel with 3 in the 10th, picking up the win over Chantel Eberly. That keeps Robin Silvernagel in first place at 6-1. Our feature game, Sherry Anderson, staying in the playoff hunt. She's at 5-2 now. Ashley Howard has been eliminated. On sheet 3, Penny Barker picked up the win over Jessica Mitchell, but she needed a little bit of help, and with the game that we just saw finish on sheet 4, Kristen Streifel picking up that win, that does eliminate Penny Barker. Kristen Streifel and now Amber Holland both at 5-2, so we've got a 3-way tie in second. Robin Silvernagel alone in first, and a couple of teams just outside looking to see if they can get some help tonight. We'll be back on the air at 6:30 tonight, and we'll see how everything shakes out. We'll hope you all join us then.